is amazing. Oh, it's clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostyn, Cam Water.
For the first time here for season 3. Davis on pole, Vandergren in second. It's going to be sprint round action here tonight. Let's go racing here at Daytona. It was a good start there from Davis in comparison to Vandergren in behind. Cowan's absolutely bogged it up and already dropped out of the top 3 here as they come down towards turn 1 for the first time. There's biffing and barging between Gallen and Cowan. These guys are still going at it after last season. They survived for this time by though. Through turn 2 and 3 they come. Nice and clean, boys. Keep it up as they come up to...
I love riding. It's a real social thing. There's a great bond between riders.
Every weekend I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other.
Riding to work is a great way to start the day.
Shannon's insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. They offer features riders really want. It's why they're one of Australia's leading motorcycle insurance providers.
Whatever you ride, whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride.
ride with Shannon's.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Through turn 1, it was a horrible start from De Bono, who's absolutely bogged it up and gets eaten alive by Dixon and Gowans as they come on through. Through turn 1 they come, and they all spread out around in towards the first sector of the Silverstone circuit. They look all right at the moment. Okay, there's already been a car spun round. That's Jordan Ferguson off wide.
Is green, green, green at Road Atlanta here as well. Faulkner did get away. De Bono is tucked in as well. Unfortunately, Houghton is on that outside line. De Bono does want to tell him to do. He's got the job. De Bono's overtaken. Now can he get Ben Faulkner up through turns for 2?
Like us, it's got to be.
Shannon's.
Shannon's, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 134646 for a quote. This is amazing. Oh, it's clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostyn, Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because, tell you what, Bruce Tannock and Jamie Dyke just absolutely drove away from us. Hayden trying to go around the outside. This is where he could have just sent it up the inside, but he hasn't implemented it, which is fair enough. It's very scary out there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we get a good run. Dodds just absolute thinker, but it is a really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to SRW TV, and welcome in to the final round of the Warren Brown Tools Supercars series here for Season 2 of 2025. I'm your commentator, Hamish Munro, joined by Stephen Sinkovic. Once again, Sinker, we come in not only to end another season, but to end a full-time commentary partnership. The last time we'll be on the booth together here in SRW at Donington Park. Champions will be crowned. One title is pretty much locked up. That is for Jeff Arnold in the rookies class, and there's a couple more that are still closely contested.
End of an era, start of a new one, mate. One door opens, one door closes. Another chapter's finished, another chapter starts. How many more cliches can I go through? Mate, it's been an absolute pleasure to party with you on a Tuesday night. Party with you on a broadcast, full stop. So tonight we're going to do it for the boys down here, make a killer event. Well, they're going to do all the work, really. We're just going to, me and you just going to talk over the top of them, really, like we normally do. But it's going to be a cracker.
Yeah, I think it will. And, you know, for those titles that are on offer tonight, you know, as I said, Jeff Arnold, he's 131 points adrift of Di Feldman in the rookie class, so he's pretty much got that title race locked up. The AMs are a little bit closer. Quashi's about 39 points behind Clutters, and then it's 11 points back to Nommensen. So there's a bit of work to be done. In the right world, it could happen for Nommensen, but Clutters is looking to be the one that would lock that one down. And then on the Pro-Am side of things for Split 1, Jace Douglas is 36 points ahead of Travis Daly, and then a further 2 points ahead of Blake Urquhart. They are the three contenders for that series. And then for the pros, Blake Warboys, James Scott separated by 25 points, then Ryan Mueller's a further 46 back. So he's a bit too far adrift. I think that pro battle is going to come down between James and Blake. And unless both of them don't score points tonight and Ryan does, they should be the champion. One of them will be the champion of the night. So 3 crowns to be decided, 1 crown to be solidified, and a big night of racing here at Donington Park, which should offer us up some solid racing. You know, we've had supercars here previously, which have obviously given us some great racing as well. And I believe is tonight a normal round, or is it a sprint round, Cinco?
Say again, mate. I missed that last bit.
Is tonight a normal round or a sprint round?
That's a very good question. Let me hit the space bar. Tonight is a 40-minute. So we've got 15 minutes qualies, and then go straight into the race. So they won't just dump us like they normally do. We'll give them the time to finish it. But I was just listening to the boys in the background doing their final briefings as everyone comes out. Mate, are we going to have another night where there's going to be someone like Matty Keane that comes out from the back and wins it, or like Mr. Dougie Gowans that comes back and takes it, or one where Josh Horton loses it in the last beginning of the race and no internet, and then misses out completely again. And we've had some pretty amazing finishes to a season, haven't we?
So I think the only world, to break it down for each class, the only world that happens for Di Feldman beating Jeff Arnold is if Jeff Arnold is in the position that he loses his internet, cannot rejoin the race, and then does not get any points, and Di wins. Because she needs to beat him by 131 points, pretty out of the realm. Could happen in that scenario, but it's very, very rare that it does. For Clutters to lose to Quash or Nommensen, you know, they could definitely drop further back in the field tonight, miss out on some points, and then that could give it to Nommensen. That one's a bit hard to say. Urquhart beating Daly or Douglas, that would be the most out there one, I think, because Urquhart's only 2 behind Trav, and he's 38 behind the lead of the championship. So say if Jace has an absolute balk and Blake lights it up somehow, gets a top 4 finish, then maybe it could happen. But it would have to come down to, like, I think Cowie's going to have to be on the maths for us pretty much straight away, or RC's going to have to be on the maths for us straight away. So then we know who is in it to win it and who is not. But I think for Di, even if she doesn't win this title now in the Pro-Ams, in the rookies, she's had a cracking season. And I think she can hold her head up high for the season she's had. Took her first win and her first podium in her class. Yet to take her first overall win, though. But still, it's a cracking season, a cracking effort. And she has been improving all throughout, and I think next season she could be on for an absolute blinder.
Yeah, 100%. If she continues the form that she's continued for the latter part of this season, I mean, let's face it, she's had form all the way through. She's had some shocking internet issues, which has probably cost her the title more than anything.
Yeah.
But if she continues to form, internet behaves, this could be an absolute cracker. But also, what a way to finish at Donington. One of my favourite tracks. I can't say I've driven a V8 around it though.
I have done a couple laps. I've done a race here in the Gen 2 car a long time ago, and I've done some laps around here in the Gen 3. I mean, I think the biggest difficulty of Donington is the debris and the amount of dust and grass that can be brought back onto the circuit, and that can play a major part. I think what's also going to be a major part is the pit exit as well. Obviously, drivers are exiting pits right onto the racing line at the braking zone before the drivers in the fast lane are coming down and towards turn 1. So they're going to have to be cautious of cars as they approach, as Normanson has a big snap oversteer, puts it into the wall here in qualifying, so he'll have to reset.
I'm looking at Normanson's car. It's green. Is he playing with fire, changing livery on a final night?
No, they often will run a retro in the final round. He's done it in seasons past.
Yeah.
Of course, running the old Channel 7. I think it's the Channel 7 Monaro, actually. It's either that or it's the... No, it's not. It's the Johnson car, the paint car that Johnson ran for quite a few years.
Bradley Mills to exit the... he's got to have... 235 Bradley Mays. He's got a rear of grid for license points, so he's not to be doing the quali. He needs to be starting from rear of grid, and he's just told him if you don't come in, you'll be starting from the pit lane.
The pit lane might be better than starting from the rear of the grid, though. If I'm honest, we could have nuclear solutions at turn 1, and someone starting from the back could get caught up in it much more easier than someone starting from pit lane, but those are just some of the little nuances. I think the issue is, so if you were given a rear of grid and say you were giving points away for qualifying, of where you qualify you get points as well, that's where that more or less becomes an issue, because obviously you're taking points away from someone and then you're deciding to start from pit lane. But I think it's also, you've got to, you've been given a rear of grid. Doesn't mean you start from pit lane. It means you start from the rear of the grid. They are two distinct penalties with distinct differences about them. Because if you go to a track like Red Bull Ring, for example, and you start from pit lane, you can get an advantage because you can come out of pits where all the carnage has already happened off the exit of turn 1.
100%. 100%. It all depends on the circuit. It really is circuit dependent. On the one like tonight, it's the pit lane is just before the corner, so it's probably a bad one to start from the pit lane, because you're released, and if it's blocked, it's blocked. you can't get around it unless you go dirt bike riding. But other tracks, it's a bit different. You're just after the corner, or just after the apex of the corner. But I tell you what, I'm already looking at these TMXs on track. Bartush is setting a quality lap of 132.265, and Quashy's not far behind. Scotty West is not behind. All the natural culprits are there. Daniel Clutterbuck. It's good to see.
Of course, I've noticed as well, Jeff Arnold slightly off the pace tonight, down in P14 at the moment. Nathan Cadman's returned into the field this week as well, back up to pace and back amongst the AM field. I think, well, the realistic choice now is, so this will be Jeff's last race as a rookie, no matter where he finishes. If he finishes first or if he finishes second in the championship, I think we've determined by this point that he should not have been a rookie. He should have been an AM, but now he's got a championship out of it. And next season, if he were to return again and race again, he is going to be in the AMS class more than likely, I would say.
Yeah, most likely. He has been very consistent. I don't think it's always been down the pace with Jeff, though. Consistent and clean. He's done a bit of a... who was it a few seasons back that did it in the 86s? My brain's gone a bit blank.
I think the major issue is the rookie class should probably be reserved for drivers who have not got much experience in the supercar. So, and when I say not much experience in the supercar, that's obviously a case-by-case basis, because you could get someone like Greg Barber, who races only in GT cars, might not have very much supercars experience, but you can't really put Barbs in rookies because he hasn't got the pace to be in rookies. He'd be a Pro-Am or a Pro. But Jeff has been in SRW for quite a few seasons and has shown good pace, and I think this season running amongst the AMs above him probably proved that he could have hung with those guys. And I mean, if we compare how many points he has, because of course they're scored on an overall system, after the drop rounds he's on 645 points. He would be P5 in the AMS Championship right now, behind Scott Weston, Kurt Normanson, Michael Quash, Daniel Clutterbuck. So, you know...
Is it outright pace, or is it just clean driving?
I think it's both. Well, I think it's both. I think he hasn't been murdered by poor driving or unluckiness this season compared to some other drivers, but he has had the pace to hang with the guys at the front too. I think he proved that at Sonoma when he started on pole. So
the key factor would be looking at where he's been qualifying. And seeing how that's translated to races as well, because if he's been qualifying okay in the top 10, well then I would have said yes straight out. But driving is a big difference between having the pace and driving a clean series and staying out of trouble and keeping your nose clean. We've seen a lot of boys do it in the 86s in the lower levels and come through. I mean, Rockstar Clifton did it. Who else did it? I can't remember who the other person. There was an Apex driver that did it not long ago as well. But yeah, look, it is what it is. I'd be interested to see how the shootouts went. Who's that? Is that a blown engine?
That's John Van Ree just driving through the dust there, as well. Of course, the WKMP drivers back to their original paints. They're still the only car that has an issue with the lighting. I don't know why. It's still under the belief that it's the spec map on that car that for whatever reason doesn't like the lighting, because every other car looks fine. I did a broadcast yesterday. None of the cars had the issue, so...
119 just called something in. Oh, Kurt Normanson just called something in, so there might have been a bit of incident there. There's a few people in there saying hello. Steph saying hello. Ray Douglas is giving his good old chant with the crying eyes. Stevie GL All, Laura Anderson, Steph Piccoli, Super Crush, and Mr. Bulldog. Thank you all for joining us. It's going to be a cracker of a night. So please also let us know if you want to see someone in particular on track as well, so we can get a hold of it. And we only need 23 more subscribers to hit 1,500. So like and subscribe, hit that little notification button so you know when we're going. It doesn't cost you any money. It helps us a little bit with the algorithm. It's not going to make a great impact, but it's good to see the 15 there instead of the 14.
It's nice to get to a round number, and it's nice to get to a milestone. And you know, as I said, for whatever your care factor is, I really wanted to see 1,500 before I departed this season. So if you have any care factor in that, and you haven't already, then please hit the subscribe button and the like button as well. So SRW can get to 1,500 subscribers. It could open more doors to more racing opportunities, of course, because it helps support the series and its broadcast as well. And yeah, because obviously, if the more views we can get, the bigger the series can become, the more that the series can offer as well. So it might start to mean the series can offer more racing, whether that's on more days during the week or on the same days during the week, but at an earlier time slot, because it might start meaning if there's enough interest, international series could start running through SRW or whatever it may be. So the bigger that SRW can get, the more support it can get as well. It means that it's better for us as sim racers because we can get more racing out there as well.
Correct.
Well, Laura's asking where am I going. Trying to think of a clever way to answer this. I'm not going. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere in particular. I'm just I'm backing myself to go find some opportunities for my own broadcasting. So that's more or less. And I want to focus on other stuff in my life as well. I started a new relationship at the start of the year, and I want to try and put some more time into that because, unfortunately, the broadcasts that I do for SRW, one of them now clashes. Last season, two of them clashed with when I actually see my partner. So I want to try and spend more time with her. So, and then yeah, and just see what else I can do. Put some time into adminning my own league that I've been adminning, and do some more broadcast stuff as well.
Laura, you know what it's like. There'd be a woman scored in the background. That'd be deadly.
Marty Hughes has gone up to P2 in the standings now. 12 minutes into qualifying, 132.589 from Marty. He's still dealing with those blinking issues. Of course, we are implementing the ping black flag in the sessions. So if someone has got bad enough ping, iRacing will send them back to pit lane to not affect the other drivers. So Marty may be prone to that if that's not sorted by the race. But the drivers will have the whole 15 minutes to do their qualifying as well.
Yeah, there's a few boys going off track. I'm seeing a lot of off tracks at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Car 27 competing in car 919. Pit lane start. So Brendan Soper will get himself a pit lane start.
So that would be what Kurt was calling in earlier, was the impeding. Of course, a big thing in racing, and yeah, appropriate. And of course, Brendan's already set a lap time in the session, so they can't really give him a rear of grid. So the only other applicable penalty is a pit lane start or a points penalty. So they've opted for the pit lane start this time by. Laura's saying as well, I'm going to be missed. It's okay, Laura. Currently, my broadcasts don't actually class with anything that SRW does, so if you do wish to still support me, you can find my broadcasts elsewhere and still watch SRW as well. Between us both, you could actually fill your whole week with broadcasts. Aside, actually, no, yeah, you could, genuinely. I broadcast coming into this iRacing season. After this week, it'll be Monday. This is for Australian Eastern Standard Time nights, Monday, Friday, Saturday. And then you got SRW Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So, and then if you've got stuff you want to watch during the day, I've got stuff on Thursdays and Fridays as well with a US league too. So, yeah, so you could still support both. Yeah.
All right, Bartouche, mate. Look at this. He's really letting the front.
He has snorted the pace hard here tonight. 32.26 now. He hasn't gone any better throughout this part of qualifying either, but he's showing the pace. Now, he's done a 32.85 on his last lap, though. And Kwashi, he's obviously just done a 32.43, so he's got a bit of pace in the Mustang. This will be his final run in qualifying coming up when he crosses the line to start this last lap. Bartish does not have enough time to do another lap here, so that 32.26, he's obviously confident enough it's going to be able to maintain a front row position at the least. But I think Kwashi and Clutters, they're probably the only drivers on track at the moment that maybe could challenge that 32.2 of Bartish up the front there. But the question is, can the 1%ers cost Bartish tonight, or is he going to be able to keep them in check? Because we know it has caused some issues for him in the past. As Weston, sorry, I spoke too soon. Scotty Weston, 132.25 on that last lap. He obviously heard what I was saying, and he decided, I'm going to make you eat your words, and go straight to the top.
15 thousandths. Wow. Oh, that was so close.
105 thousandths. That's how close the time is.
Yeah.
So that's an unbelievable lap.
Leave it there for the last bit of the race, mate. That's just, I like it.
So for Kwashi now, I would assume, Singer, if he's not seeing that he's up by 2/10 by the time he gets up to the Melbourne hairpin, he may just call this lap, because if he's going to call it now. So he's obviously made a mistake. That's it for him. What about Clutters? Has he got something in the locker? He's just coming up to the final corner now. So as he runs it round, is it going to be a TMX Mustang on the front row of the grid, or is it going to be a lockout on row 2 as he runs it up to the line? What's the time for him? It's a 132.31, so just betters his teammate.
Yeah, that's all right. They got the second row locked down. That's nice. That's very good for a team to have. Can you see the second screen?
Let me have a look. I can indeed.
Excellent.
Let me load it in.
Boys will get their final briefing now from race control. I don't think anyone else is actually on track. Everyone's gone in. Rob Baxter was the last one. There's race control. It's a spanking lap there from Scotty Weston. He's really come to some form at the tail end of the season, hasn't he?
I told you, man, it's the new internet. The faster, more secure internet has made him a faster and more secure driver. It's put the confidence back in him. Maybe the internet does have a big part to play with it too, because he's able to react faster because it's got faster speeds now. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's not
some lag in there.
Quite possibly.
Yep. We've seen that before, where guys are stuck with stuff like that. Oh, Donington. I'm just gonna. Matty Kearney's giving the boys a final briefing, getting the boys all polished up and telling them that he doesn't need to hear the whole War and Peace, just the lap number and the corner.
Yeah, it's just the basic information of what you need, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm going to put you on the spot here before we run through the grid. Who's your pick for at least the AMS title tonight? Quashi, Clutters, or Nommensen?
It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. At the moment, look, Western could upset it. Bartush could upset it.
They could definitely throw a spanner in the works of changing who can gain the most points. Weston's a bit too far away in terms of challenging for the title. I mean, he's 54 points off of Nommensen, so that makes it a bit tougher. Quashi, Clutters, Quashi, and Nommensen.
I think out of the two TMX, Clutters has been just a little bit faster, a little bit more consistent. I'd say this could be Clutters' chance. But he's not going to have it easy. There's no way. There's Bartush there. There's Weston there. There's Hughes and Coleman and Nommensen all biting at the heels there. And we've seen what happens on these tracks. They can get... it's with a close field like this, one mistake and you're off track, and especially with the grass on these tracks, you can lose the whole field and just come out just from one error. So whoever's going to keep it clean is going to take it tonight. The grass is everywhere, and once you get rolling on that grass, you just keep rolling on this grass. Yeah,
that's exactly right. Starting grid, though, for the final round of the season here for the Winder Brown Tools V8 Supercars Series for Split 2 this evening. Scott Weston will start on the front row alongside Dan Bartish, with Daniel Clutterbuck and Michael Quash, the TMX Global Racing crew, locking out row 2. Those two battling it out for a championship this evening. Marty Hughes, Nathan Cabman line up in behind. Kurt Nommensen, P3 in the championship for our Double T of Revolution E-Racing starts P7 on the road alongside Brett Taylor. Rob Baxter, Reg James will then make up our top 10, but the lights are going up for these drivers for the final run home this season towards glory and towards a championship. We are underway at Donington Park. The lights are green and the flag is too. As we run down to 1, it was a cracking start from Weston. Bartish is trying to hold the outside line here, not to let Clutters through too early. But as we run up through turn 1, drivers need to be cautious and not running it too wide and copping the sand trap on the left-hand side of circuit as Weston leads us down the hill.
Mate, that was the cleanest start I've seen all season long with these boys. The second camera's on Jeff Arnold. There was no dust, there was no squealing, there was nothing. It was just bang, bang, bang.
So as we run up towards the top of the hill, Weston controlling the field. There's been a bit of contact in the background of Baxter and James off the road.
Yep.
New look on his car this evening for Reg James. Looking spectacular, although I think he might need to try and finish off the rear bar. So something has happened between them. We'll have a look at it at the end of the lap. Oh, who was that just ran wide? It was Michael Quash. Oh, no. So Quashi has to pull back into the traffic just in behind Cabman, Hughes and Nommensen.
Nice and clean, though. There's a few people going off still first lap jitters, but it's looking pretty special out there. The laps are already really close. No one's really gapping it massively.
As we run up towards the start of lap 2, Let's have a look at what got in the way of Rob Baxter and Reg James. So they looked like they were going to be running side by side up the hill. Bit of contact with Baxter on the inside, and both of them exit stage left, screen right. Lucky not to hit the wall off that run forward, but could be a penalty coming the way of one of them in a couple of laps' time. We'll see what RC say. Western, though, in such a controlling position.
So far, pretty quiet there as I turn my headphones up.
That'll be the reason why you can't hear them. But
I was going to say, why is it? Where's the atmosphere gone? Why can't I not hear these engines? Mr. 36, Mr. Project 36. Evening, everyone out there. Second cam's sitting here. I think I'll take it to camera 2 version so that can move out a little bit. Someone else has gone off track again down the back. I think some of these boys, once they've gone off, the tyres are a bit dirty and are struggling with it a bit. But Scotty Weston is already setting the pace out there with a 1:38.8 and looking very, very comfortable. Bartouche, followed by Clutters. Mr. Nomnson. He's got himself up 3 places already.
He has indeed. Singo, head in the background then is someone rummaging through your can collection to take to the trade-in or what? Because
no, he's trying to pick a blade to throw in the back of my head. Usually the mic doesn't pick up. Oh, I know what's going on.
Oh, you on the other one?
Yeah.
Have you fixed the one though that was disconnecting at least?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
It's fine.
I did turn you up as well, so if you do change, we're going to have to turn you down.
The screen is changing now, but I've got it down a little bit so it doesn't peak out, so I've transferred back to the shoey.
Very good, there we go.
There you go.
Nominson's on the charge forward at the moment. He's in P4 at this stage. If we have a quick look at the comparison of lap times, lap 1, Clutters did a 40.6, then Nominson and Hughes are about a second off. The last 2 laps, though, Nominson and Hughes have been faster than Clutterbuck, so they are chasing him down at the moment.
Great passing maneuver down the bottom there. Boys are already cracking it down there. Who have I got it on? I've got it on Bradley Mays at the moment. Coming through. Bradley Wall, I should say, sorry, in the traditional Mustang strip. Doing well. Brad's had a few good 12 months away from the car and come back and he's shown some early pace in the season, but he's a little bit off and a little bit back on again. I think next season he'll find himself a little bit more consistent. Bradley Mays is up 10 places starting from the pit, and Brad Wall, like actual track start, is up 6 places, so doing really well.
Yeah, of course. You say he started from pit. Brad didn't end up starting from pit lane. Remember, if he didn't even set his lap time, it was Brendan Sopar who copped the pit lane start in qualifying for impeding on the car we ride on board with Kurt Nominson of AITT Revolution E-Racing. So Sopar has got a bit of time to gain to get up to Rob Baxter, though he is off the pace a little bit at the back of the field. But Maisie's done well starting from his rear of grid position that he had from the license points penalty that he was carrying. The next penalty that he will have on his docket, though, will be a round ban. So he needs to be careful tonight, Sinker, not to get any license points. Otherwise, he's going to start Season 3 of 2025 missing out on the whole of Round 1, no matter what series he wants to run in, whether it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Sunday. He won't be able to take part in that in Round 1 of next season if he were to cop a license point tonight.
Have a look at the bottom screen. Brett Taylor, Brad Ward, Craig Healy. They were like 3 wide there for a second. Brad's managed to chuck in behind Brett Taylor, but that was a cracking little bit of battle between the boys.
So Western is starting now just to spread the wings a little bit. 1.8 seconds is the gap from the leader back to this man, Daniel Clutterbuck in P2. He is currently the champion-elect for the AM class here in P2 on the road at the moment. He needs to drop positions if Nominson hopes to win the title here tonight. Clutters has already dropped spots. Sorry, Quash has already dropped spots back to P7. If he were to stay there and Nominson would have gained some more, he will at least have P2 in the title race, but he needs to gain over or nearly 40 points to get past Clutters here in the championship fight. It's pretty much he needs Clutters to finish at the back, and he needs to finish up the front. He should have that one wrapped up. Actually, no, because it's 40 points from P1 down to P10, so he just needs to beat him by 10 positions, basically, and he should win this title. But anything can happen, as there's an NFA call for car 308 and car 700. That was, I believe, the moment we saw with Reg James and Rob Baxter Sinker up at the top of the hill.
100%. These boys across the middle of the field row, what are we, 10th place back. So, having a great little tussle there. Brett Taylor, Brad Wall, Healy, all around the same sort of pace. So these guys, I think they're going to be battling with each other for the rest of the year together, because they seem to be lapping around the same pace, the faster pace as well. Taylor's the one that sort of pops up here and there a bit faster, depending on some laps on some tracks and stuff like that. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens for season 3 with some of these guys, because some of them will go up as well. And then depending on how many drivers we get in as well, there could be some new faces in there that will shape the structure of AM, Rookie, and Pro-Am and Pro a bit differently as well.
So as we ride on board with Brett Taylor, he's tucked in behind Tommy DeWitt at the moment in this battle for P8 on the road. He's been having a fairly good season this season, has Brett, as DeWitt runs it wide up at Redgate, drops the spot to Taylor, who now slots himself into P8 on the road. DeWitt now under pressure from Brad Wall in behind him, as well as Craig Healy, who's kind of making up this little EWT sandwich of DeWitt and Wall in between them.
Yeah. Oh, Dan Bartus has just set a 1:32.774. So a cracking lap there, cracking. Really putting the pressure on. He's about 6/10 off the back of Nom Nom, but getting closer. We'll see how that pans out. That could be a fight for the final podium step for tonight.
We very well could. We could also see a scenario where, they get nice and close. That was the wrong camera. That was the wrong one that I did not want. I wanted this one, thank you. He's right on board with Brad Wall. He is just giving up a little bit of time to Tommy DeWitt ahead of him. There's been some changing of position. Here comes Arnold. Mazzaroli! Into Wall, into Healy. All of them have dropped.
That was such a good move in there. I'm not sure what happened as they were coming out of the apex, but they were 3-4 cars going for it. I think Brad Wall has done the best out of them by getting off and earlier, but we'll have to have a look at that one again, mate. That was... I'm not sure if it was someone just... Oh, Brad's actually touched him in the back coming through. I'm not sure if he had much choice there, whether he slowed down or bogged down or what it was. But before that, as they were coming down the hill, Hamish, oh my God.
Oh, he wasn't ready for him to be so slowed.
Yeah, he slowed right down as he came out. But if you can get him just as they're approaching that corner, the dive into that hairpin, all 4 of them, was crazy.
Well, then the question is, so obviously, so Mazzaroli's alongside Healy, and then there's also Jeff Arnold. So, I mean, realistically, our question that needs to become is, would this moment have happened, Sinker, if Mazzaroli didn't send it from 2 cars back?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It was a great send, though. He just got a really bad exit out of there and bogged it down. So
I know that Brad's made contact, but I don't know if I can particularly put much on Brad for that one, because of the fact that Alan has just bombed it in and hoped for the best.
Well, he's got to complete a clean pass, yeah?
Yeah.
Depending on whether iRacing will rule that as a clean pass or not. There's another little bang there as well. It looked like one of my boys gave him a g'day, how you going? I think that was Brad just giving him a bit of a tap as he came out of that corner. Let's see. I can't read that. It's too blurry on my screen.
It's 104 Brad Anderson incident has been noted for lap 6. So we'll see what that has.
So the viewers might see there, we're doing some testing in the background, and Barb's has got a new system going, which is really working well. So we can
can actually put a bit more information on screen for the viewers as well. Reverse back into the race line was the best part.
Let's have a look at this. So Anderson comes past Arnold. Oh, okay. So then Mazzaroli's trying to... Well... Yeah, he's trying to come into pit lane, but... So this is the big issue here, right? And this is more or less what... So this is not necessarily anything against Alan, but this... Or the rookie class in general, but this is something that comes down to track knowledge. If you're coming into the pit lane at Donington Park, you do not run wide at the final corner. You tuck in and you run that final corner as tight as possible. It is not the smartest plan to run a long, deep line through here. That's the racing line that Weston's taken. You can see where the pit entry is. It's right just after the apex. So you're not running it towards the left of screen. You're trying to hang it on to the right. So it's a tough, learning curve. Yeah.
Between Mazzaroli and Brett Anderson.
Yeah.
But we'll keep going. And there's someone out there you want to see, let us know, peeps, because we've got a lot of drivers out there doing some amazing driving. Nathan Cadman is he's heading into the pits now. We are at the 13-minute mark as we roll through that.
Oh, who's that that's been off the road? Sorry. Daniel Clutterbuck has been off the road down at turn 4 here, Sinker. And it looks like, I think, a mistake. I think it was a mistake. Under brakes, down the hill, ran it onto the curb, caught the sand. Yeah,
he's just touched the back of that grass. And see what I mean? That's just one little error has dropped him down. How many places? 4 places?
Yeah.
Yep. And that, look, that's not over. The race will still keep going. We're looking at, we're only just coming up to the halfway mark, 5 minutes out of the halfway mark. But still got the pits to go through, still got a bit of strategy to go through as well. I'm going to go to John Van Ray, Di Feldman. They're having a bit of a go there. Di's having a look on the inside down there on the bottom. Van Ray's got the outside line. They're coming through nicely and clean.
Yeah, Dave Baldock might want to look away because John Van Ray is leading his class at the moment in the rookies at this stage. In P9 on the road. So John is having an absolute ball of a time. Might have gotten the position for free because the top 4 were taken out by a schmozzle, is the only way we could really call it, down at Melbourne Hairpin. But he leads nonetheless.
A lot of drivers are struggling in that hairpin.
Yeah.
I've been watching a few of them. They're coming in and they're not maintaining the pace through the corner. They're bogging it down a bit. So they're probably coming in a little bit too hot instead of braking a bit earlier and trying to power through it. So, what the pros do. It's amazing the mid-corner speed the pros carry through that hairpin tonight. It's going to be crazy.
I think the big struggle of this track as well is the tyre wear. It can really start to chew up the rubber, especially in this car. Obviously, you push too hard in the supercar and the rubber just runs away and then you've got no grip left whatsoever. So these are the little balancing act that drivers have to try and obviously balance as they race along. But yeah, this is one of those circuits that really test them, and especially coming from Sebring last week, which was also a tyre killer. They should have a little bit of practice with it, but I don't know, it's one that really brings its struggles. And I think it proves that when drivers are trying to make moves, but they haven't got the grip to pull them off.
Yeah, 100%. Look, it's... few things are starting to spread out. This is the part of the race where we normally see everything open up, the 15-minute mark. So the only battles we've got at the moment is Di Feldman putting pressure on James, Lipsky on Edwards, Jeff Arnold just about to have a pass on Alan Mazzaroli. He's really putting some massive pressure on him at the moment. And that's about it. So it's all waiting for the next pit strategy to come through. But the top guys are going for it. Bartouche, Hughes and Quash.
Oh, Arnold trying to run up the inside at Melbourne corner. He's nearly got that job done, but that was audacious.
Bogged it down as well. He just hasn't maintained the pace coming through.
He's trying to turn in. Didn't realise Lipsky was still there. That there is Mazzaroli's teammate Martin Lipsky at the pit entry.
Oh, is he going to get a penalty from IRacing for poor entry there?
Let's have a look because he runs it round.
He's rotated, full
I
rotated.
reckon he's locked the rears. Yep. I don't even think he meaned to come in, but at that point he's like, well, I might as well pit.
He was like,
I'm here.
well, I might as well go in.
I'm here. I might as well go in.
He's got that guy from the Shell commercial, BP commercial going. Come through.
So Lipsky comes through pit lane, has taken his stop, and now pushes on. Scott Weston still leads the way at this stage. Nommensen P2, Bartish P3, Hughes, Quash, and Clutterbuck in P. Now for your top 6. Clutters is still the champion-elect at this stage. He needs to drop outside of the top 10 for Nommensen to become the champion-elect. As Bartish is in pit lane. So through comes Bartish. That's going to change it up a little bit. Strategy could be the play tonight as well, Sinker, and drivers having to make sure that they perfect their pit entry. That's going to be a major issue too, because a pit penalty here is going to really put some struggle on you. They determined it was a racing incident down at Melbourne Corner. I think that's probably the fairest case there.
Yeah,
because
I think exactly what me and you saw. He bogged it down, and Tomlin spun it after having a great little tussle with those guys.
Yeah,
too much pressure for Tomlin.
I think they probably determined that the contact probably wouldn't have happened if the dive bomb didn't happen, but he made the pass. So they've got to put some blame on both drivers, and then that's why the racing incident was called, which I think is fair enough. So just, it's an incident where you put your hands up and you're like, well, you pick who's at fault then. So as Brad Wall has had an incident as well, he has kept it going. What has happened to Brad down at the final corner? So, actually, no, it's Melbourne Corner. So, has he had an incident again down here? No, it wasn't. It was into the final corner. There was a car rejoining, and it spooked him.
He got a code brown.
Yeah.
Code brown in that corner.
Unfortunately, that's now the green-eyed, brown tail-lighted monster that Brad is driving around at the moment.
I'm just looking to see. Scotty Weston's gone into pits. Marty Hughes has gone into pits. Let's see where they come out. Dan Bartouche went in a bit earlier. I'm going to go to Dan Bartouche. He went a lap or two early. He went lap at 11. What lap are these guys on? Lap 13. So let's see what happens there.
So Weston up on the jacks now. Got a lot of love for Mr. Nommensen currently leading the way. Weston is leaving pit lane, so he's going to come out still in the lead. Bartish is going to remain ahead. That's how tight the pit exit is. Bartish has gotten
squeezed in behind Maisie there.
He was lucky.
At that. Yeah, but Bartush has got him there. He's caught him right up on him now. He's got traffic in front of him as well, Scotty Weston. Now he's come out at a really bad time.
He's got traffic to the front and traffic to the rear as well.
Not just traffic, he's got 1, 2, 3 of them.
And I mean, they're all drivers that still need to pit. But the issue is he's going to get held up now to Bartish. This could actually now play into the hands of Kurt Nommensen, because the longer that these three go, or actually more importantly, the longer that Felben and Mays go, because Van Rie's got a bit of gap, if they don't come in this lap synchro and they go an extra lap, Nommensen should stay out and just keep on, punching out quick lap times, because Weston's going to get caught up in the traffic, and it could see Nommensen exit pit lane in the lead of this race.
Yeah, well,
he's coming in now.
In front of him, so he would pretty much come out there right in the middle of that action as well. Here he is. I'll go to Kurt. You stay on the front, guys.
So they're just entering Melbourne hairpin. Weston's trying to get up and under Brad Mays. He's gotten that job done. Nommensen is up on the jacks. This is going to be tight. Maisie is sending it in on Weston. Contact with Weston. He somehow survived. And that there, if that's called a penalty for Mays, that is going to be round 1 gone for him next season. Here comes Nommensen. Exits pit lane and into the race lead. Effective ahead of Weston and Bartish. I think the two contributing factors for that one there, Sinker, was the fact that they came out behind the lap traffic, and then one of them made contact with Weston into the final corner.
Yep. And look at Bartouche go. Bartouche can smell it. He can smell it. He can almost taste it. He's putting some massive pressure there on Scotty. Massive pressure. He's turning into a ripper driver. Mate, can you remember when Dan first started with us and and the way he used to drive in the early days. His perception of cars around him was really bad, and he was obviously always learning all the way through, but he's got himself to a point now where he's actually in charge of his own domain. He's there, and he's making the car do what he wants. So it's great. I'm really glad to see him improve and get to this pivotal point of his iRacing. We'll call it a career.
Yeah, his career, his venture, his
passion.
His passion. The skills have gone up immensely, and I know there was a little bit of controversy surrounding the end to his GRX6 race on Thursday, but that ended pretty amicably between the two drivers. But he has been really putting in the focus on getting better and better in both pieces of machinery, whether it's the Toyota or the supercar, and it is paying off for him in spades in terms of proper performances as Van Ree, Van Ree and Feldman have all come into pit lane. So the fast drivers have now been released.
Clutters hasn't made up much time coming out in his third.
No, he's actually lost time to these guys. He's about 6 or 7 seconds back.
Yeah, he's actually pit was one of the longer ones. It's 14.62. Brett Taylor's at an 18 in there on the sticks. But we'll see what happens. There's still a long way to go. Head down, Kurt. Patience, Kurt. Nom racing well. Here's Quashi. What's Quashi's plan out there?
He's going to have to pit. He needs to pit this lap because he's starting to catch the lap traffic at the back of the field. So he is going to have to come in. Anderson's going to let him go very nicely down at the Melbourne hairpin. But I think this is the lap that Quashi needs to do it, because if he keeps going and keeps dealing with this traffic, it's only going to give Nommensen, Weston and Bartosh a chance to get through him in the pit lane. So he needs to take advantage of this now. He's got a 14-second gap over Kurt Nommensen. He's going to go for another lap. We need to watch that time, because if it gets down to around about 12 seconds, well, then he's likely not going to be in the top 3, and that may lose him P2 in the championship at this stage.
TMX top and second? What?
So they currently are. They're currently 1-2.
Yeah,
Clutters
that'd be amazing.
Yeah, Clutters was leading Quash into tonight's race. Of course, it was a 39-point lead, I believe he had. Let me double check.
I've got enough screens to open it up.
So do I. Yeah, it's a 39-point lead over Quash. It's a 50-point lead over Nommensen. So Nommensen needs to beat Clutters by 13 positions to win the championship tonight. So he's in a safe spot. Where Quashi
as well, by the look of it.
Yeah, Quashi needs to beat him by 10 positions for that to happen. So that will make it a little bit harder.
Interesting to see. So at the moment, Nom is the leading driver that has pitted with a splitting 1:32.739.
Jesus.
He is cracking it out there. He's cracking the whip. Very well done.
He has definitely cut down that gap that he had on the last lap. You noticed it was 14 seconds. It's now down at 11.8. So Quashi is giving up time to P3 at the moment in Kurt Nommensen. If he continues on that run, the gap's going to be under 10 seconds by the time they traverse up towards the line on the next lap by. So for Quash, just for damage limitation, he needs to pit on this lap. It's not even a possibility anymore, although I think due to the fuel, he can't go much further anyway, because the tank size normally only allows about 25 to 27 minutes.
Yeah, DeWitt's gone in.
Oh, sorry, I do apologise. I was calling that wrong. He had given up time to Nommensen, who was behind DeWitt, but the gap's still 23.7 seconds. It's not enough to maintain the lead through a pit stop. So he is...
these pit exits with the cars coming down the straight. It's so tight.
Oh, it is. It's like Sandown. Like you come out right onto the racing line, but I think the difference is you're coming out onto the racing line at a braking zone into turn 1. I mean, that's where the danger lies for drivers who have to come through pit lane tonight. I think at the moment, if there was a live feed for odds on championship, Clutters is probably at about $1.15 at the moment. Quashi would be probably $1.40, and then Nommensen would be probably $2.30 at this point, just because he needs Clutters to get into the wars and drop below Brad Wall for that to happen.
Now.
Oh, does he come
in the left-hand line?
No, he's going again.
Wide. He's going again.
Wow.
He must have a bit in the tank. He's brought it out to 23 seconds too. He's doing well.
So I wonder, obviously, because it's open setup, but drivers have got limited fuel they can actually have in the car.
Yeah.
I wonder what some of the different strategies are on those fuel levels, Sinker. Of do you actually start with slightly less, and then play the game of, well, I'm just going to put in half of what I need, or I'm just going to put in what I need to get home, and maybe half the tank size for the first half of the race, or if you go, balls deep and just have it full and then put in a little bit towards the end.
Mate, I know that I would always, no matter what car I'm driving, I would always aim just around the halfway or maybe a touch earlier and fill enough just to get to that point. So I'd be driving the lighter car all the way through the race. That's the way I would do it. I used to do it, but obviously I'm not. Oh.
So Dan Bartish has had a moment down at Melbourne Corner, and it was up the inside of Scott Weston, and he ran it real deep. He was very lucky not to.
Marker?
Yeah, he was very lucky not to collect Scott or collect the wall as well. But that gave up.
Let's just have a go, sort of?
Yeah, I think so.
Happened?
I think so. That gave up a massive amount of time. And then there was Rob Baxter, who had the leader coming up to him towards the pit entry. Oh, and I think he's actually just ran it wide to let the leader pass him. So that was nice of Rob. I think check.
He's having a moment. He had to readdress all the way back to who was it? I can't remember who it was, and it was a fair hike. He passed about 5 cars in the process, so he had a big readdress, and then the car that he readdressed to went off as well. So he had a bit of an issue. His comms are actually being quiet at the moment, but we'll see how that unfolds. The nom effect is going well. Kwashi is still holding a 23.28. So I wish we had some statistical stuff where we can go bang, bang, bang. He's going to come out here. But it's a bit hard to tell at this point.
I think it's dependent on how much fuel he needs to put into the car, but the average pit loss time. So for a 35, so if he drops 35 seconds in the pit lane, Sinker, he's dropping to P6 behind Clutterbuck. If it's 25 seconds, he's dropping to P4 behind Weston, but ahead of Bartish, Hughes and Clutters. So,
but he's only going to need about 10 seconds of fuel. But
it's not the stop time though. You've got to remember it's the traverse time as well.
It's travelling time as well, but it does make a big difference too. We've seen Darren Lobb do it last year, at the end of last year, where he'd come in. Oh,
he's in now.
He's in. I'll go grab him.
Let's watch Clutters, who's just come through the chicane. Hughes has disappeared off the screen, and I think Hughes has actually been sent back to pit lane due to the ping flag.
Yeah, he has, and he said, "Look, I don't want to ruin anyone's race. I've got a new computer coming next week, so I'll retire the car." So, what a sportsman to do that is pretty amazing. We've got Bartush who's just come in the pits as well. Here comes Clutter.
Here comes Clutters. Here comes Quash on the exit. How close is it going to be? They're going to get him. They're going to get him. Surely he's not going to pull out right in front of his teammate. He's just ahead of Clutterbuck.
What a way to go, boys! So this is these boys as a team sealing the top 2 positions as we see them now. They just need to finish behind Dan Bartush at the moment.
They wouldn't. Quash needs to pass.
The title and second place sewn up.
Quash needs to pass Bartush because he's P. So Nommensen is 11 points behind Quash. If it's 4 points per position, Nommensen is currently gaining 12 points over Quashy, so he'd beat him by 1. So
Quashy beat him by 1?
No, Nommensen would beat him by 1. So Nommensen needs Bartish here to hold off Quash, keep him off the podium. Otherwise, Quash would finish P2.
Yeah. We'll see how we go. It's just little bits at the moment, isn't it? Did Bartush and Weston come together? No, they didn't. Bartush tried to outbrake him, but couldn't, and ended up on the grass. as far as pace at the moment's concerned. There goes the pass. Kwashi's just gone past Dan Bartush.
He has indeed. So whether Bartush doesn't want to have a part to play.
Did he have a slow down? What was it?
I don't know.
That was a big pace difference. Come through there. Oh, he's missed. He's gone wide. It looked like he missed his brake marker a bit.
He ran it wide. He couldn't get the power down.
Yeah,
the rear was spinning up.
Yep, that's unfortunate. We don't believe there's any contact between Weston and Bartush. Bartush just missed his run.
Yeah, he was very lucky Weston didn't turn in any earlier. Otherwise, the contact would have been made. So they were both saved on that front.
Bartush's fastest lap at the moment is a 1:32.774. Daniel Clutterbuck's fastest lap is a 1:32.755. There is not much in these boys. These boys are all very much on the pace. Bradley Wall's in the pit for a second stop by the look of it.
So Kurt Nommensen at the moment is doing all he can to try and win this AMS championship. He sits P1 on the road with Scott Weston hot on his heels. He needs Michael Quash to drop off of the podium and needs Daniel Clutterbuck to drop out of the top 12 if he hopes to win this championship this season.
He's doing all the right things. You've got to put yourself in the right position.
He can't do any more. He's controlling his race. He's controlling the controllable.
And it's racing. Anything can happen, and back marker get in the way. We've seen it last season where back markers had an accident right in front of Joshy Horton and cost him a mega amount of points. We've seen it happen before, so it's racing. I'll have a look down at Craig Healy and the boys all the way around him. They're having a great little battle there as well. Well, they were until I picked them. But Brad Wall is putting pressure on Craig Healy at the moment. He's having a great little run tonight. About 3/10. Biggest mover at the moment is still Bradley Mays, who had a rear grid for his license points.
So we need to decide, Sinker, are we going to talk to just the champions, or are we going to request that the champions join us after Split 1's finished so we can talk to the race winners of each class tonight for Split 2?
It'd be good to... if you do the switch over and I can talk to them, we'll see how we go time-wise. I think it's been a pretty smooth switch over of late. We can do the winner of the race fairly quickly and then the champion a bit more time involved and drag that into the second session. But let's try that and see how we go. What do we got left? We've got 5 minutes left for season 2 of the Warren Brown Split 2 Championship.
If they wanted to save us time, Daniel Clutterbuck and Jeff Arnold would win their classes. Then we'd only need to talk to the two of them. As Weston is putting the pressure here on Nommensen for the race lead. As they run it round the final corner, it's going to be a drag race towards turn 1. Nommensen appears to have the pace advantage at the moment down the straight. Just got the better drive out of the corner. Maintains the lead for the moment. But Weston is right there and he's hungry to get the EWT Mustang back into the top position where he started this race on pole. And for Nommensen, he wants to get himself another win here in SRW. He's had a cracking season. I know it's our Revolution E-Racing, but for him it's been an Evolution E-Racing type of season. He has evolved to a proper contender in this series, and if he doesn't win it this season, my money's on him for next season because there's only going to be one TMX Mustang out on track.
I think his breakout performance this year was not this year, was at the
Sandown 500 8-6 race.
Correct.
And then
words out of my mouth.
And then he threw that all the way.
We saw him racing that, and we said, "Dude, you should be racing in the series as well, because your pace was phenomenal. The car just seemed to click for you." And ever since then, it's like he's just gone to another level.
Well, he went from the high of having a spectacular performance in the GR86s in the qualifying day to then being the driver that caused the safety car that changed the race during the 500 and was the only one that put it into the wall. So he had two opposite days in that end, but as they approach the lap traffic of Brad Anderson. They're trying to traverse it as best they can. Weston wants the spot, though. He wants the race win tonight. 3.5 minutes left as they run up towards turn 1. It should be 3 laps to go. 10-point penalty going the way of car 67 for contact on lap 14. That's going to Craig Healy, so that'll drop him possibly a place or 2 in the championship.
Interesting. But the battle down the back has been going crazy as well. Wall, Jeff Arnold, and Maisie are having a bit of fun down there. Who is that? That's Nathan Cadman leading the rookies down there with Van Ray and Di Feldman down a second part of the boys. Easy Simmer. Let's go, Kurt. Bring it home, baby. Must be his partner.
Or just a very close friend, of course, as well.
Yes. 2 minutes to go. I was just being cheeky.
I know. 2.5 minutes.
It's like that YouTube skit where his mate's sitting behind him, Mrs. sitting in the front, and he kisses his mate on the cheek and goes, "See you later, babe." And she stops and goes, What's going on? What was that? They're taking a piss out of her, but she was like, "What the hell?"
He's like, well, he was here first. You're just the side piece at this point. 2 minutes on the clock. 2 laps left to run here of Donington Park, and 2 laps left to run of season 2 of 2025 for the split 2 action of the Warren Brown Tools V8 Supercars series here this evening. Nommensen leads to Weston by 0.7 of a second. 1.4 seconds back is Michael Quash. Then it's Dan Bartish. And then Daniel Clutterbuck, the champion-elect in P5 on the road at the moment. Brett Taylor, Tommy DeWitt, Reg James, Nathan Cadman, and John Van Ree makes up the top 10. Jeff Arnold looks to lock in his rookie championship tonight by finishing this race and scoring points. That's all he needed to do to win the title here this evening.
Yeah, he's finished a considerable 15th. He's just been in cruise control all night. He hasn't been pushing it that hard at all. I'll take the camera down there so we can see him coming through. He's just in cruise control and loving it. The show so far, Kurt has grown. Oh, he has. He's been mega. Like we said, since that Sandown race, he has started to shine. And it's not just just clean driving and getting the races done. He's been in there battling shoulder to shoulder with these boys for the last few rounds and putting in some mega pace. And look at the positioning. He's just
I think his racecraft and race acumen have grown immensely as well.
You see the way he picked his turn in then. Scotty was still going straight. He picked his turn in. He knew it was there.
Here comes Weston.
But he might have made a mistake here.
Bit of contact. Knocks him wide. There's Quash right behind him.
He's on the outside too.
Final lap of the race. 1 to go. Weston's going to redress the position to Nommensen, but it's brought Quash right onto the back of them now. How quickly things can change and how quickly the marbles can be dropped and smashed all over the floor. Top 3.
Really careful here.
He does. He can't push too hard. He got
can't get
P2.
involved in any carnage. He needs. Personally, I would be backing off. He is down to 3/10 of the back of Scotty Weston. I'd be backing off to about 7/10 in case something does happen. He's got space to get around it. Because if he gets involved in the incident with it, that's it. That's gone. Set number 2 position, gone.
Well, he may not be aware of the position that he needs to finish P2 in the title race. He may only be aware of where Clutterbuck needs to finish. So this is now the difficulty that we land ourselves on as they run down. Big tank slapper there from Michael Quash in P3 on the road at the moment. Nommensen will lead them in towards the chicane for the final time and up towards the Melbourne hairpin as well. It's been a top-level season. Nommensen has done all he could to win the title here this evening. Quash on the outside of Weston. Could he lock in P2? Lipsky had an incident, gets out of the way quick.
Getting out of the way. Yeah,
Weston
he's getting out of the way.
Covers for Michael Quash. Kurt Nommensen will come around the final corner. He will take the checkered flag. It'll be a race win to end his season. And it will be P3 in the championship for Nommensen. Quashy finishes P2. And Clutters wins the AM title in a classic here at Donington Park. And then further back in the field, Jeff Arnold just had to score points tonight. He is only a few corners away from being the rookie champion here this evening.
What a race. What a finish. I'll tell you what, all the hairs on my arms are standing up from that. I mean, it was safe, but it was still like, anything can happen there. What a drive by Nom Nom, mate. That is special. He did a 1:32.739 as his fastest lap, and he's clinched the final round of the season. Jeff Arnold, cruise control all the way back, won the rookie class, and Clutters on the lower camera. He's sealed the title with his teammate Kwashi in second place.
How many points are on offer for fastest lap, Sinker?
It's only one, I think.
Okay. Doesn't make a difference then.
No.
Because Nommensen had the fastest lap of the race, so you'd get an extra point for that, but it doesn't make a difference. As Arnold crosses the line, he locks in. No, he didn't. Oh, no, he did too, sorry. 1:32.58.
Yeah.
Well, then P4 would have been enough for him. He would have tied on points and won it on countback.
Yeah. I think he did that on the second last lap or the last lap.
Oh,
so
okay.
That was spectacular.
Great effort there from Jeff Arnold. Locks in his rookie championship this season. And we'll now move up to the AM class for season 3 of 2020. Oh, 5 points, okay. Well, Nommensen would have hoped he would have had it then, because that would have been enough with Quash and P3 for P2 in the title race, but not to be for him there in the end. We will take this time, though, as the drivers pull up to make their way back to pit lane to make our changeover to the Split 1 server. We await the race winners of the AM and rookie class to join us, and then the champions as well of Daniel Clutterbuck and Jeff Arnold to have a chat here this evening. So let me quickly just do our little trick here of moving over to the countdown. We will turn it down and unmute Discord as well. What a complete season it was, though, Sinker, for some of those drivers. I mean, Clutters was just on it all season long, and I think proved to us pretty early that he was going to be a contender here this season. We have got Nommensen in the green room, so we might as well move quick and fast and have a chat to him first up. Mr. Nommensen, congratulations. Race win tonight. Couldn't do much more than that to try and win the title. It just didn't go your way in the end. But it's P3 in the title race, and a solid effort from you in charging after that AM championship. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, boys. They kept me honest. I am sweating like no tomorrow now.
I love it, mate. I love it. Mate, you have gone leaps and bounds. I don't know what's happened since the Sandown 500, mate, but you are like a driver on a rampage, improving week in, week out. What's the secret?
I honestly don't know what the secret is, boys. Something's clicked, and I'm getting there with this car, and I'm just finding more and more pace. Like, I was about a second off my best lap before I come in tonight, and then I come in tonight and I break a new lap record for myself, so I'm pretty happy.
That is sensational, mate. Well done. It's been an absolute joy for me and Hamish to watch you develop as a driver from someone who we saw destroy an 86 race at the Sandown 500 and then come through and do what you're doing now, mate. That's sensational. Obviously having fun, and I think that's a key, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the main thing. Just having fun, enjoying my time with it. The boys are great fun to race with, so yeah, it's awesome.
Excellent, mate. Well, we've got a few people to go through, some championships that have been won. Who gets you out on track, mate, and supports you?
Just massive thanks to AITT, Sud Speed, Bunny's Builds, Sure by 4, and IR Sidekick.
Excellent, mate. Well, you have done an absolute cracking job tonight. You've shown that you're going to be around for the next season and pushing these boys all the way to the end, and maybe even a title for yourself.
Yeah, we can only hope. I can only hope to improve from this season.
Yeah. Well, good going, mate. Congratulations. Can't wait to see what you do next season, and we'll chat to you soon.
Too easy. Thanks, boys.
Thanks, mate.
Next up, we have our AM champion, Jeff Arnold, into the booth. Jeff, congratulations. We've cut you off on your conversation, as we often do with people in the green room. No, you're fine. We're just lucky we didn't catch you on a swear, which I don't think we have at some point, luckily. But congratulations. All you had to do tonight was show up, finish the race, and you get yourself a championship, and you've locked that down for yourself as the rookie champion for season 2 of 2025. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Hamish. Hey, Sinker. Yeah, it's not the way I wanted it. I wanted to have a bit more of a battle with Di towards the end, but with the internet connections, I mean, I'll take it. I'm happy, but I feel like it's more like a default one because the challenge wasn't there throughout the season with Di, which myself and Sink have spoken about a couple of times now. So, but yeah, still very, very happy. Don't get me wrong,
mate. You got to be in the right place, put yourself in the right position, and it takes all season to do, mate. It doesn't happen just through 1 or 2 races. So it's a job well done, mate. Don't diminish your success. Unfortunately for Di, she had internet issues, but what it does, it gives her the opportunity to take the title next season. So it's another step forward for you and a step forward for her as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, as I said, don't get me wrong. I'm super stoked about it. I'm very, very happy about it and all that. But yeah, just a bit more of a battle would have been nice. But yeah, we'll see what next season brings.
I'm looking forward to that's for sure. Who gets you on track, mate, and supports the legend that you are?
With the Velocity Racing Team, we have Serco, Cheeky Squirt, and Veteran Gaming Australia. And again, like always, the RC and you guys as the broadcasters. Without you, it wouldn't be the same.
Well, we appreciate that, mate. And really, me and Hamish are just the icing on the sugar, mate. You guys are the cake that brings all the sweets to the viewers, mate. Without you guys, there's nothing, mate. We are just a little bit of icing. That's it. Hamish the cherry, me maybe the frosting.
I love it. Thanks, gents. Have a good night.
Take care, buddy.
See you, mate.
As we move on into our Split 1 session here this evening, we have got our AM champion this season. He'll be moving up into Split 1 for next season as the champion, Mr. Daniel Clutterbuck. Daniel, congratulations. You are this season's AM champion. You're the champion of Split 2 as well. A phenomenal effort in the end found you as the title holder. Just needed a top 12 finish to win the title ahead of Nommensen, and then it was a top 10 to win it from Quasha. You did all that, and you got it all done. Mate, that was a complete season from you. Talk us through it. How does it feel to finally lock down that title for yourself?
Yeah, it's good. It's a shame that the last race was the kind of at Donington Park. It's not my favourite track. It's very slippery, and it's just about, for me at least, just managing tyres. So it wasn't the most exciting. I gave it a bit of a go at the start, but yeah, had a couple of off tracks and nearly took out Quatchy as well. So at that point, I was decided just to back off and, like you said, try and make sure I finished in the top 10, which I did, and yeah, that's good. So looking forward to racing back up against Cowie and Peter Pav and those guys again next season with a bit of luck.
Mate, was that a Code Brown moment when you went off? Did you think, oh my God, what have I done here?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, we were thinking it as well with like, oh, how far wide is he going to go? Because this track on the grass, mate, you can keep going for a while, and how close the field was at that part of the race was like, oh, it could have gone south real quick. So it was like, I think me and Hamish had hand in mouth moments too.
Yeah, no, it was probably a bit silly, and like I said, after that, and then I think I tapped Quatchy slightly coming into that chicane down the back there, so that was another oh shit moment, and yeah, that was when I knew I had to back off.
You knew you had the job done. Did Quashy know he had the second position done? Because he was really pushing hard at the very, very end, and we was like, oh man, you don't need to push this hard. You've got second place on the title sewn up.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't remember. I think he had to finish. Was it 2 or 3 places ahead of Kurt? So I think he was pushing ahead for that reason. But we were also being told by crew chief that there was rain coming and everything. So it was.
Oh really?
Yeah, it was a bit confusing.
Keep you guys on the toes. Well, it is England. Anything can happen. I mean, the UK. Anything can happen in the UK. But mate, sensational job. You're going to be up there fighting with the boys at the later schedule in the Split 1, which is going to be again good to see. But it's good to see you back at some hot form like I've seen you drive in the past, mate. It's taken a little bit of a hiatus, but you've got back to where you're more practiced now, is it, or you're just finding more time, more relaxed? What is it?
I think I like this Gen 3 car a little bit better than the last one. A little bit more practice, and yeah, just the consistency's there, which has helped a lot. So I think those things combined is helping, but you're fully prepared to be way down the back of the pack next season, that's for sure.
Excellent, mate. Well, good to see you out there, mate. Congratulations, Hamish. Send the man off.
Thanks, gents.
Clutter's a fantastic effort. Looking forward to see what you can do in future seasons, and I'll be looking to see what you can do from the sidelines next season in Split 1, and seeing if you can get yourself a cheeky podium here or there in the Pro-Am class, or maybe even get yourself a win here or there as well.
I appreciate it, guys, and thank us again for everything to you guys, the sponsors, all the other competitors. It's so much fun. Love this, and appreciate it all.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the AM champion of Season 2, Mr. Daniel Clutterbuck. Congratulations, dude.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, buddy. Whoa. Another title come and gone, mate. That is amazing. Clutters is such a nice dude. Same as Kwashi. Such a respectful team out there when they race, and it's good to see the good guys finish first as well. Sometimes the good guys aren't always the ones that win, but done an exceptional job this season.
Yeah, they have. I think they were tested at times, but I think for the season as a whole, they were definitely the best on the circuit for that split in particular, barring round 1 where there were obviously drivers who had to get reclassified up towards split 1. But outside of that, It was a nice close battle. I think what won it for them both was they were the most consistent 2 drivers in the field, plus they had the pace to be at the front as well, but they weren't killing the field necessarily. So they drove a very, very consistent season. They had great pace as well. I could see a world that if there was enough entries next season that both of them could go up to split 1. Although I do think that, Clutter's locked in at this point because he won the title, obviously, and it's the only fair thing to do that the champion goes up. And then someone would have to come down in place of that. So whoever that is, I'm not sure. It'll all be answered tonight based on how they perform in the Pro-Am class. But I'm excited. Final race of the season for Split 1. 40 minutes. A champion is going to be crowned in both classes. Both classes, in fact, are separated by a very similar amount of points. Pro class separated by 25 points for Blake Warboys and James Scott. Warboys needs to finish in the top, I think it's the top 8 to win the title. And then Jace Douglas and Trav Daly are separated by about 35 points. So Jace just has to finish within 9 positions of Trav, and he should have that title wrapped up as well. So they've got it a little bit easier, but it's still a long night of racing and anything can happen. And we know that, especially in the Pro-Am class, how closely contested they are, how many incidents they've had as well. That could be one that could go away in a blink of an eye for Jace. So he's going to have to be cautious this evening.
Yeah, I'm 100%. There's no hesitations there as well. These are. Oh, look, again, mate, it's racing. Anything can happen. We've seen it happen before, and it's like nail-biting stuff, and I love it. This is why we like doing what we do. It just gives you that buzz. We can't drive, so we drive through these boys. What they do gives us the buzz. Blake Warboy just hit a 1:36.06. So we're going to see something special. Is there any rain on the schedule? Who's that in the RC car hugging the wall? That was Barbs.
He's probably getting some laps that he didn't get to do any in Split 2, so he's warming it up for us. Currently, it's a 0% chance of rain, but it is a 55% precipitation at the moment. So typical UK. It's not on cold side. It's 22 degrees air temp. So it's fairly mild, but there is the looming possibility of precipitation. Whether that leads to rain or not, I'm not sure. I would say more than likely Cowie probably wouldn't have made this race wet because we don't want the weather to be a part in deciding who the champion is. We want that to go down to the on-track performances of those drivers as qualifying gets underway and the drivers leave the pit lane.
Yeah, they're all leaving. They're all leaving at once, too, one behind the other. It's interesting to see the mentalities are a bit different in the qualies for Split 1. They look for the draft as well as going out in team formation as well. Like you can see, bottom screen at the moment, the M1 boys are all behind each other. taking advantage of what they can, help each other out as much as possible.
So could
We've got
it
the bottom,
be
we've got
a championship tonight for Jace Douglas? He has really cleaned up his act as of late, Sinker. I know we wince sometimes when he gets close with other drivers on track, but I think that's because he wants to race hard and get positions if he can. But realistically speaking, we look over the last few weeks, he has cleaned up his act.
We wince because we know what Jace has done in the past. That's why we wince. But he's found next level of control now. He gets in there tight and he races hard. Every driver's got a little bit different style. He likes to bump doors and get in there, which is, you know, Dad would be wrapped with it. Dad would love it. I think that's why he does it, because Dad loves it, and it puts a smile on Dad's face. But that's his style. That's the way he likes to race. He does it within the rules, which is what you're supposed to do. And when he doesn't, he gets punished, and he takes it on the chin. I think in the past he was trying to drive like that, but the control wasn't quite there, and it would be exaggerated, and it would cause a massive issue. But I think he's grown through that and doing really, really well.
Well, he's about to begin his first qualifying run here at Donington Park. We'll see if it's going to lead to a championship here this evening for young Jace Douglas. Ryan Mueller is setting the pace early through the first sector. He had a purple, it's now changed to green, now that Warboys has run behind him as well. So this is going to be tight tonight, and unfortunately for Ryan, he has been dealing with red mist the last couple of weeks. Unfortunately, some of the incidents that have been happening have really been getting to them. I think after tonight, he needs to take the break just to reset the mind, reset the mentality, reset the way that you focus up and attack the racing next season, and come back stronger and a little bit more resilient, we'll say. I think that's the one thing that he could probably work on to improve for next season, because he's on track pace, and his racecraft has been really, really up there this season. He's been doing very, very well. His pace has been phenomenal. I think just those little 1%ers he needs to fix up, and then, as I said, the mentality as well, and he'll be someone very difficult to overcome in seasons future as he crosses the line with the 131.695.
Look, he's a guy on a very steep trajectory of improvement.
Yep.
You know, we've seen him and Billy Mole being up and around each other all the way through, not just here on Tuesday nights, but on Sunday nights as well. So they've been doing some spectacular stuff. And when you get to that point where you suddenly all of a sudden everything starts clicking, you're getting faster and faster. It starts to become a bit of a balance of, you know, sometimes you just got to pull it in a little bit and not overdrive, and that could be where he is at the moment. He's finding his pace, he's finding the confidence, and he's just got to work a little bit on where the balance is.
Yeah, I think just, you know, trying to you know, he wants to try and compete. I mean, Stevens in the chat was saying Ryan doesn't get red mist. He's just a racer. He's improved so much. He confused red mist with just trying to compete and do better. I'm not Stephen. He has shown a lot of frustration over the last few weeks with some of the moments that he's had. And I know that he wants to compete at a high level, and it's tough to compete at a high level. But he has shown some frustration over the last few weeks. But you know, everyone does. We're human, and we're racers. We get frustrated from time to time, don't we, Sinker? And I think, you know, it's not how we react to it; it's how we overcome it. And I think and that's what's going to be important for Ryan, is overcoming it and pushing on to continue to compete at such a high level and to do really, really well. Because, you know, he's a very talented driver, and we both want to see him do well in the supercar. Because I think he's proven himself by getting so good in such a short amount of time.
I mean, look, his skill level and pace especially the last 2 or 3 rounds, has been spectacular. I mean, he's been up there in times with Warboys and with Scott as well. So, I mean, Scott's another beast, different level altogether. You know, his times have been super fast, but you can also see now that Warboys is starting to reel him in a little bit as well. And if I'm not wrong, these cars have gone for a bit of an evolution with the last patch, so there's a little bit more adjustment in the rear end, I think it is. that they can play with. So we'll see what happens as these guys progress from season 2 to season 3 as well, with what changes the way these guys handle these cars and what they can do with them, what they can't do with it. I think the boys like War Boys and Scotty, they're the ones who are going to show us what can be done with these cars when you muck around with the suspension and try to, get it finely tuned.
Well, Blake Urquhart out there at the moment, just trying to set a better lap time. He currently sits P4, but leads the Pro-Am class at this stage in qualifying. Stephen, don't claim I don't understand what it takes to get to the next level, please. That's just a flat out wrong judgment call. You don't have to.
Steve's got his opinions on his own drive.
He does.
As well,
he can have his opinions, but so can I. But to claim that I don't understand what it takes is just flat out wrong. I mean, that's not a correct statement whatsoever. And I understand you have to push limits to improve, but there's, we've said it time and time again, you got to be able to balance that. You've got to be able to balance how much you're willing to push, but also, where you're actually going to end up as well. And it's tough. It is tough to get to another level. Couldn't even imagine the amount, well, I could imagine it, but the amount of time you or I would have to put in Sinker to get to James Scott or Blake Warboy's level would be immense. Absolutely immense.
That's a dedication that these guys have got. This is what people forget, that this is a sport. These guys are competitors, they're racers, they're out there. Just like I played my soccer in my early days, I would train 3 nights a week. I'd be at the gym. I'd do everything I can to keep myself in peak fitness. Even over the summer break, I'd be running. And that's what these guys do. These guys will, over the break, they'll get these cars, they'll fine-tune them, they'll get them going, and then they'll get in the air and they'll do practice for each race. They'll pick the tracks they have and go for it. So it's the next level. So viewers will know that this isn't just a game. I call it a simulation because that's what the boys do. They go out there and race like real race drivers. They all they all have a massive amount of improvement to do. They all work hard on it. They race like you would not believe. I mean, if I could have 1/10 of what these boys do, I'd be a very happy man out there.
Yeah, and I think that, just to even, to put the time into to get up to pace, I'm not critical of Ryan. I think Ryan has been spectacular. He's been driving very, very good, but I think that, if I can't be opinionated on it from where I sit, then we're just going to be saying he's going for an overtake here. We are reading it as we see it, and that's what happens. I think Ryan has shown fantastic pace. He's been doing very well.
Let's see how the boys do tonight. Otherwise we'll be sitting here going back and forward all night. You got your opinion, Hamish. Banksy's got his. He's got a different perspective on his driver as well. My perspective is that the boys just a flat out amazing driver that's growing like crazy. What's we got here? Terry Taylor, off-season War Boys, goes to the pub and smokes darts. Oh, I highly doubt that. Especially with the new baby. Who's that just lost it then? Was that Billy Mole?
Yeah, that was Billy Mole. He's had a bit of a moment there at the last corner as well. So he's going to have to try and reset now.
This. Brandon Levin got himself up to the top end of the tower at the moment, the 131.4. It looks like the War Boys have got themselves in the 30s, and everyone else is sort of struggling around the 31s. We've got 5 minutes left, so it's not going to shut off. It's going to keep going and changing through as they get to finish their laps. What do we got at the moment for the AMs? Jaden Green, our resident. What do they call it? Offer honour? No, it's a
He's a FIFO worker, so it's same with Troy Dooley as well. He's also a FIFO worker.
I'd like to see him do a complete season. That'd be great to see because he's got some really good pace when he's on song. Blake Urquhart's got himself in the pointy end as well, and Jace Douglas top 3. So what's Douglas need to do to get the title done?
So he is, if we have a look at the standings, He's 36 points ahead of Trav Daly, so he needs to finish inside of the top 9 to win the championship. He's 38 points adrift of Blake Urquhart, so he needs a top 10 to beat Blake. So pretty much if he gets one more position and finishes where Billy Mole is currently in the standings in P8, he will be the Pro-Am champion.
So he needs to beat Blake Urquhart by how much?
It's an extra position. So he needs to beat Blake by 10.
So he needs to be just behind Blake, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, but Blake's 38.
Yeah.
Blake's 38 points behind him. So actually, no, Jace could finish where he is in P9. Neither of them need to get the fastest lap, and he would win. Which I'll be honest, I don't know if either of them are going to be able to get the fastest lap with Scott and Warboys out there with the kind of pace that they show.
No, I don't think that's on the table for them. Not at all, especially with Blake, James Scott just ripping out a 1:34.89 with a cracking bit of pace out there, which is special as. Unfortunately, Jaden refuses to quit work and stay home and sim race for us. That's just poor teamwork here. That's just where are his poor work standards, poor team standards. Fancy having to work and feed the family, eh? It's amazing how these sports, though, how good would it be if we get Australian iRacing to a point where some of these drivers could actually generate sponsorship to race like pros? That would be amazing. We only had the population that the US does, or all of Europe combined.
I mean, there are Australians who have gone overseas to obviously race at a higher level, at a paid level in sim racing, obviously as well as real racing too. But I mean, it'd be really, really cool if this sim racing continues on the trajectory that it's on, and it actually starts to kind of fire its way into feeling more and more national and international for us. Now, at the level of real life racing, obviously it doesn't have the same aspect of you can go live on track to go watch the racing as well. But it has the point of that you are mimicking as close as possible racing in the real life car, and that's,
believe me, it's the whole structure of everything we do is not far off what V8 Supercars does. We survive off sponsorship. That's what pays the bills. That's what keeps the doors open. And while we're there, we are looking for sponsors. We need more. We're at the moment where we've tapped our sponsorship to its peak and can't really grow anymore. I'd love to have some more racing on board during the week, but like on the nights that we've already got, like double up like we do tonight, but we just can't do it at the moment without more sponsorship. So yeah, please ring me and tell me. Send people my way. Admin at simracingworld.com. We'd love to keep it growing because I think our drivers are spectacular in no matter what they get into. And look at this. This is the part I love, this part of the track. You just got to get that far left as possible and cut that nose off that apex and just keep it going through without hitting the sand on the other side and come out clean.
It is one of the more difficult parts of the circuit down at the old hairpin, and then a run up to the top of the hill as well. With only around about 20 seconds left in qualifying, these will be the final runs for these drivers. James Scott sits top of the timesheets with a 1:30.359 at the moment. Blake Warboys is on 2 green sectors at this stage, so he looks for a personal best, but it might not be a pole position best at this stage. It could be enough, though, to keep his name on the front row of the grid. Another personal best for him in through the 3rd sector as well. So as he runs up and around towards the final corner to finish off his qualifying attempt here, he will follow one of the Project 36 cars, Angus Lawford, to the start-finish line in their final run in qualification for Season 2 of 2025. Warboys crosses the line. What is the lap time for him? It's a 1:30.512. It's not enough to take pole, but it should solidify him on the front row of the grid. Jace Douglas gets up into P5 in qualifying with a 1:31.58. Mueller needs to try and find some time if he can. Billy Mole is on a session best sector at the moment in through Sector 1, and he's on a green sector through Sector 3. So this could find him up towards the pointy end of town as he runs it down towards the start-finish line. Could it be enough to get him onto the second row of the grid here as he runs it up towards the start-finish line for the last time here in qualifying. It's P6, 131.6.
Tell you what, these boys are so close to each other. Ryan Mueller and Billy Mole, 131.607, 131.651. Whoa, that is phenomenal. That they just you got two different driving styles, and the boys just magnet around the same pace as they are. That is spectacular.
Unfortunately, Ryan couldn't better the lap time that time by. So he'll have to settle for P7 at the moment. Angus Lawford has already finished his qualifying. I believe James Scott is on his final lap at the moment, but he has pole position locked out already as race controller Matt Keane is just letting them know for the processes at the end of qualifying here.
Yeah, he's going through it. I have to turn him down because he's got quite a loud voice. So he's pretty good. Steph and Mitch are going for it here, Trader. They're the same team now too, Steph and Mitch.
Yeah, they are.
Steph, can you teach him? Give Mitch some tips, will you, Steph? Come on, don't be nasty. Love it out there, love it. All right, who's your pick, mate, for tonight? What are we going to see? What are we going to see?
I think
we're going to see some amazing driving straight off the bat.
I think we will. I think we will for sure. I think Blake's going to play it safe. He knows what he needs to win the title. He'll likely take fastest lap into account as well. So, that will then obviously have a part to play in it. But the starting grid for tonight's race will be as follows. James Scott will start pole alongside Blake Warboys on the front row of the grid. Brandon Levin, Jaden Green then for the top four with Jace Douglas and Billy Mole, the top six. Ryan Mueller, Troy Stonestreet, then the top eight with Angus Lawford and Blake Urquhart for the top 10. Jacob Traynor, Mitch Noble, they make up our sixth row of the grid with Trav Daly, John Gallen, Darren Crosby, Troy Dooley, Dom Grundy, Peter Pavlik and Andrew Cowan at the back of the field here this evening. It's a difficult track, and we saw some drivers just getting caught up in a couple of things, obviously, in race one tonight for split two. It's hard to go past Warboys for the title. He obviously has the advantage tonight. James Scott can't do very much to try and beat him. He just needs to hope that Blake loses out and doesn't finish inside of the top five. Blake knows he doesn't need the win. He just needs the top five finish. So that's going to have a part to play. Obviously, Jace just needs a top 9 to win the Pro-Ams. But anything can happen. Yeah. So it's...
look, we've seen it happen before. We've seen anything happen. I'm super impressed with Brandon Levin's qualifying tonight. He's finally got himself a bit settled back to the pace that that he's been out doing for quite some time in the early days. Every single round struggling to keep with these boys. Is that a hint that you want to drop it down to the split 2, mate? Second camera is on Blake Urquhart. Urky is in the middle of the pack, so I've got him on the target. Let's see how these boys get around lap 1 and turn 1. We've seen what the split boys in split 2 did, and let's see if the split 1 can do just as good.
So lights are going to go up for them at the start of this race here this evening. Who's going to get the jump towards turn 1 and who will carry the advantage at the start of this race? 40 minutes left in the Roundabout Tools V8 Supercars Series for Season 2 of 2025. And Warboys and Scott are going side by side in towards turn 1. It's starting early for them in the battle. Green's up there with Levin. Douglas trying to fight through as well as they continue this battle on towards the rest of this race. So Scott leads to Warboys. The scramble in behind continues as drivers just jostle for position. A poor qualifying from Troy Stonestreet finds him outside of the top 10 and work to do here, Sinker, to get himself up the field tonight.
He's had a bit of love out there, so he's just called something in. But John Gallen, you should have seen the way he got off track. He actually, the cars in front of him were standing still. He actually passed 4 cars before he even got to the first corner. Absolute cracking start off the grid he got.
So as we run down the back straight, Warboys and Scott going together early here. Levin trying to hold off Jaden Green and Jace Douglas with Billy Mole and Mueller in behind them. Their battle has been legendary between the two of them.
Erkie's got a readdress to Troy Stone Street. They got a little bit close to each other coming through the first corner, I think it was, or just after it. So they're readdressing.
Oh, look at Trainer. He's going to sneak up through as well. So Urquhart gives up the spot. Is he going to drop to Trav Daly as well? No, keeps ahead of him at the moment.
Yep.
But he dropped an extra, well, it was technically 2 positions in that because he also gave it up to John Gallen, his teammate, who followed Stone Street through as Douglas and Green go up towards 1. Mole wants a piece of it too on Levin.
Oh, that was close all the way around.
Douglas runs it wide.
Yeah, I think it was too many. The 3 is just too tight for that corner. That was lucky. It didn't get any worse than what it did. But Urkie is readdressed that. Mr. Gallen is continuing his form from the last few races. This new gear of his is really showing Gallen back to his form again.
Mate, he has really turned it up. He's turned the tap on, and it appears the old John Gallen is back, which we love to see because we know how much, technical difficulties can really start to hurt the confidence. So it's good to see him back up in form, building the confidence back up and building the pace back up as well. And hopefully he can continue forward.
Inside. Oh, Trainer's nearly lost the rear end then. Oof, that was close. Tell you what though, James Scott and Blake Wall, boys, what are we on? We on lap 2?
Yeah, about to be on lap 3. They've already got a 4-second
gap. To be on lap 3. They're already 3.5 seconds up the field. These guys are lightning fast. 35.99.
Lawford. Sorry to interrupt. Turned around at Melbourne hairpin. He lost it on his own, and he's dropping maximum positions at this stage outside of the 10, and now has work to do to come back.
Lucky it was minimal damage there.
Oh, Jace Douglas spun round at the final corner.
Oh, no.
Jace Douglas, the Pro-Am champion-elect tonight, has been spun round at the final corner.
Oh, no.
Could this be...
I heard 099 come up, but I couldn't quite hear what was going on.
So he had Stone Street in behind him here. Into the final corner. He runs it round Stone Street, then gives him a tap from behind. That then knocks him loose. And then Stoney's turned around as well.
He's done the right thing. He had the brakes on.
Yeah.
So he's got clipped to the front, and that's thrown him around, and that's thrown him into the front of Peter Pav. Peter Pav just can't win a trick at the moment, mate. He had a cracker the other night. Should we call him JD Pavlovic?
Someone spilt some bourbon in the Pavlova.
Yeah, he had a cracking run on a Sunday night, but unfortunately his luck hasn't passed on to tonight. With 40 minutes, he's got a lot of time to catch up. So has Jace. What's that do to the title now that Jace is all the way down here?
So right now, Daly is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 positions ahead of Douglas. So he needs to gain 2 more, and he would equal him on points. He needs 3 more to solidify the championship win.
Wow. So Jason's got a lot of work to do to get back up the pointy end.
He does.
And get himself that title.
For Urquhart, at the moment, he needs P6 to solidify it. Or P7. Yeah, P6 or P7. But Jason's got good pace. He can definitely come back in it.
Well, this is where you start playing a bit of a team game as well, and sort of like Gallen maybe just slowing down Angus, backing him up a bit so that Blake can try to make a move past, and then maybe worst case scenario, Gallen letting Blake past him.
Well, maybe the worst case scenario is for Blake. So if they know that Douglas isn't gaining anything, he's still P17, and they're how they are. I think the worst case scenario is Gallen backs up Lawford, Urquhart gets past, and then Gallen and Mueller give Urquhart their positions, because that would win him the championship. So that may be the worst case scenario. Stone Street has a drive-through.
Yeah, he got his drive-through just now. Big barrier. Did Douglas stall? No, I don't think he did. He was coming into the corner, so we'll have to see it again. I can't remember if he's coming in or coming out, to be honest now. But it didn't look like he stalled.
We'll have a look at it on board with Stone Street. So they come through the corner. No, he's just served him. He wasn't on the brakes at the time.
I think Stoney just got a better exit out of there, and then it was too late to do anything about it. They're driving so close, it's hard to do that.
No, that's right. Exactly right.
Looking at the moment, Johnny Gallen is up 7 places.
Cracking effort from John. That is a fantastic effort from John, and I think he, as I said before, this will give him the confidence back, which maybe was lacking, because it can be very disheartening, as I said, to have those technical issues with gear, but hopefully this now is the resurgence of John Gallen, because he's one of the nicest guys you can talk to in a post-race interview, and he's very humble guy as well. So I think, it's great to see John Gallen doing well again. That's what we want to see. Battle further up the road continues on. Brandon Levin, Billy Mole, Ryan Mueller in a line astern at the moment. They're trying to chase down Jaden Green for that final podium position. The top two are separated by a second at the moment for James Scott and Blake Warboys. And then it's 7.4 seconds back to this battle pack here of 3rd place through 6th.
Grab the bottom screen, mate. I've got Lawford, Urquhart, Daly, Noble, Trainer, Crosby, and Dooley all fighting for some spots down the bottom. They just went two round that final corner. Here we go.
Here comes Urquhart.
Lawford, Urquhart swapping. Urquhart's got a little bit of tag there from both of them. Yep, bit of door.
Continuing on. Oh, both of them have been spun round, and Daly made contact with Urquhart.
Oh, bugger me. Trainer just called something in as well, 558.
Let's have a look here on board. So,
a bit of a door there.
That's fair play, though.
Trying to get across.
Fair play.
Trying to get across, but
so he's
what happened here?
so he actually contacted both of them.
Oh, no.
So I think...
Who was that?
That was Trav Daly. That was Travis Daly.
Daly, should say.
So
I always get them mixed up.
I think, unfortunately, Sinker for Trav, that may be championship over.
Yeah, I think so. I think he'll definitely get a drive-through for that, because he's come across the inside.
Yeah.
And just giving him a bit too much love. Let's see what the boys unpack downstairs for it. But that really ruined my battle pack that I was showing down the bottom. I've got Lawford, Trainer, Daly.
Well, what it has done is it's actually now thrown some more spice in for Jace Douglas, because now it's made his run up the field a little bit easier. He's P17 at the moment, but with Daly 2 spots ahead of him and Urquhart 5 spots ahead of him, he is still the champion-elect now at this point. So Urquhart, if he's carrying damage, he'll have to use that fast repair in the pit stop and try and fight and strategize his way into the top 10 if Douglas can't make his way through the field. The worst thing that could happen for Urquhart is a safety car, because that would put Douglas right onto the back of the train again, where he could easily pick off positions. I think, Stephen, it hasn't necessarily killed Urky's chance, because
I think Urky's got a good spot still.
Yeah, I think for Trav, what really killed it for Trav is he's very likely going to get a penalty, which really throws it out of proportion for him. Because if it's
Urky's like he's coming down on Grundy at the moment.
Yeah,
he's at the moment his pace is his fastest laps are 1:33.447. He is 5/10 faster per lap than Grundy and Cowan. So I think give him about another 4 laps, he's going to be up behind Crosby. So his pace is really good, really good.
And not just that as well. We got to remember. So Douglas is carrying damage. So's Urquhart now too. But Daly will have a penalty most likely hanging over his head. So that's the big looming issue for Trav is if it's a drive-through, that's probably better than a points penalty, because you can always make up the time you lose with the drive-through through luck in the race, where the points he can't gain them back, and that would really drag him down out of contention if he were to get a points penalty. If it's 10 points, that's much worse. It is a drive-through for car 333 Travis Day for car 333 Troy Dooley. Hang on, Troy Dooley's been given a drive-through penalty. So was it Dooley that caused it, or was it Daly, or was this with Jacob Trainer?
I think that was the Trainer. Here we go. There's another announcement coming in.
Let's have a look. Oh yeah, Daly drive-through penalty. Oh okay, yep. So ironically, Sinker, both drivers who you get confused together both got a drive-through penalty on the same lap, one corner apart from each other.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Unfortunately, Banksy Gallen's just driving too good at the moment and staying out of trouble.
Yeah.
He's catching up to Mueller now as well. So he's doing well, Mr. Gallen. He's got Michi Noble 3 behind him. Crosby's it's good to see Crosby out there setting up some really good lap times. I got to tell you, Hamish, I reckon one of the unluckiest drivers this season would have to be Angus Lawford.
Yep, I agree.
He has been unlucky on Sundays, unlucky on Tuesdays. Things just have not been going his way.
Mate,
his position in the ladder is
not
way
reflective
below
of where he should be. It's not reflective at all.
The quality of driver is definitely not a reflection of the quality of the driver he is. He has had so much bad luck; it's been ridiculous. But look, you know, it happens to everyone. Everyone goes through that phase where things just do not work. Billy Miles got an off track. He's cutting some grass. Billy, that's my patch there, mate. You know how to cut that. I've been grooming that for a long time.
Unfortunately for Lawford as well, it's not just limited to the Sundays and the Tuesdays. He's also had poor luck the last few weeks in the Porsche Cup Series on a Monday as well. He's just, I don't know what it is. It's something is really, whether it's the gods putting a bad luck spell on him or what, I'm not sure. I mean, last week, he got to his 17Xs by a driver locking up and literally scraping past with netcode the back of his car at the hairpin at Hockenheim Ring, and that put him over the 17X. Like, just the worst amount of luck you could ever ask for in a late portion of a race.
It's not the last X that gets you; it's all the ones
before.
It's
the 16 or the 14 you build up beforehand. So
that's just the straw that broke the camel's back, as the team told me.
Yeah, it's the nail in the coffin.
What do you mean?
It's the final nail in the coffin, unfortunately. So with Trav Daly having to commit to his drive-through penalty, that has now allowed Jace Douglas back past him. If Douglas can keep it clean, it means Daly's chances of winning the title are pretty much out of the window. For Urquhart, he is still in it though. 38 points behind the championship lead. He is 2 positions ahead of Douglas at the moment, but he is carrying heavy damage at this stage. Anything can happen though. If Douglas were to cop a penalty or were to cop the wrong spot on track and get caused contact with, that could take him out of it still. 25 minutes is still a long way to go in this race. For Urquhart, I think the smart play now is come in at the 15 minutes, fix your car, fill it up with the fuel, and push on and hope for the best, because there's not much more you can do than that.
It's strategy now. That's where it's at now. So the drivers out there, look, pits are coming up. We are at the 14-minute mark. But let's see what happens.
And I think for Urky, it looks like the pressure is just starting to maybe get to Urky a little bit. So again, I think if he were to pit at that 15 minutes, so the end of this next lap, he would not only take the pressure off himself by not having a car right behind him. Again, he then fixes up his car and can just push on and cut laps, and that'll just help him through the head.
Put pressure on him. They came around that hairpin just then on the bottom camera. They were like literally glued to each other. So Jacobs is putting a bit of pressure on him at the moment. Where's my other boy gone? Brandon Levin still
P5.
sitting in 5th. Well done.
Yeah,
well done. He's having a good run tonight. He's another one he's been very, very unlucky. One of the nicest guys you've ever spoken to, and he doesn't wish anyone the slightest bit of ill, but he's just been having a tough trot this season, big time. Yeah. Doesn't help having a crap team principal like me.
He needs, Team SRW is looking for a crew chief. They're also looking for
We need a
more
team
drivers.
principal. We need one big time. We need a few things. We need to expand. We need to, I need some broadcasts. I need some more hosts, because I can't keep doing every night. As much as I love it, I'd really like to get behind the wheel of something again before I completely fall out of love with it. But times out there, where's the fastest time gone?
I reckon you need to convince someone like Sheafy to take over the co-coms duties in the 8.6s, and you get out there and have a battle with Dean. I reckon that should be the plan going forward next season. Yeah, co-spinners.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm actually thinking of doing a split 2. Yeah, I'm actually thinking of doing split too. I reckon I could have that rookie title.
I might have to watch it next season now if that happens. I mean,
yeah, still, mate. Why don't you come racing?
Unfortunately, I can't. Normally, Tuesday's the night that my dad takes the rig to practice for his Supercars series. So, not many nights that I get available to run on the rig anyway. But yeah,
Crosby's putting pressure on Trader Mitch.
He's sitting hot on him at the moment. The point I was going to make as well, Sink, was you played your cards a little bit too late there. I already made the decision. You could have told me this a month ago. Maybe it could have been used as a selling point. But
do you mean as a commentator or a racer, Barbs?
I think he means as a racer, to be honest with you. But I don't know if Barbs would get into split 2 though. But he'd probably be split 1.
He's never raced a V8 properly, so you give him the benefit of the doubt. We could surely sway Cowie to convince him.
Well, I was going to say if Cowie ends up in split 2, you could have Cowie as a commentator on split 1 right after split 2's done and dusted.
I could swap with him.
Well, no, if he races in split 2, but yeah, if he's still in split 1, then you could just swap with him.
Well, we've got some pits, early pits.
Do.
Here we go.
Mueller's in, Mole's in.
These guys are magnets. Actually, I'm going to start calling them yin and yang. The Jacob, Billy Mole, and Ryan Mueller have gone into pits together at the same time. I'll switch the camera to Ryan is out already. Sorry, Blake Urquhart. I thought it was Ryan that went in.
No, Ryan did go in. Urquhart's also been in, so he's now fixed that car up.
Okay. Yep.
So he's actually gone a lap longer than what we said, but I think that was good strategy from Blake. Come out in the clean air. You don't have anyone behind you to put the pressure on you. Now you can just push on and hope for the best and hope and see what happens with your championship. I mean, if we look up the road on the bottom screen, Sinker, Mueller's come out right by his championship rival of Jace Douglas. So Mueller might be able to do some work.
You know what Mr. Dead said? Cowie sounds like Elmer Fudd. That's for you. Some of you younger people don't know who that is. Just look it up. Go to YouTube and not right now because you're watching us and we're entertaining you, but check out who Elmer Fudd is. I love it. I've got to get you a logo, Mr. Dead, as well. So I'll do that tonight before I start packing my suitcases because I'm flying out tomorrow morning to Sydney. Jaden Green's in the pits, so he's the first out of the top 5 to pit. Crosby is going in as well, so we're starting to see the domino effect. Let's have a look where Jaden's going to come out. I'm just going to swap it down the bottom.
To be fair, you should probably actually stay with Ryan because Jaden was battling with Ryan earlier in the race. There he is coming out of pit lane. He lights it up on the exit, but he has exited just ahead of Ryan Mueller, who has just had a blink in behind him. Hopefully that does not become more of an issue for him going forward, and he can continue to push on. So Jace Douglas still needs a pit stop in this race at the moment. His closest championship rival, Trav Daly, still needs to pit as well. He had to commit to a drive-through, and then Blake Urquhart has already pitted, and he's come out in reasonably good space. He's come past pit exit with a car exiting pit, so that's not too bad. The important thing is he's got no one in front of him. He can just push on and continue to fight.
Steffi's throwing the gauntlet down. Look at that. Maybe she should jump out. Oh, can you imagine the 3 nummies like us? Barber, Piccoli, and Sinkovic.
You're going to get Dean in there, I reckon.
We should call it numpties, not amateurs.
You get Dean in there too to see what happens. Maybe even...
He hasn't driven a V8 in a long time.
I would say convince Tyson, but Tyson would probably be in split 1 in the Pro-Am class, so... It wouldn't really work out too well. So this battle continuing on for Jaden Green and Ryan Mueller. They've now dispatched of Jacob Trainer. They look to battle on forward. The person they need to keep an eye on, though, is Brandon Levin and where he ends up in all this. If they continue to catch lap traffic and Brandon's able to push on, although he is just in behind lap traffic of Peter Pavlovic.
He is driving out of his skin. He has just done a 132.5 before. So he is on pace. He's only 4/10 off Warboy's pace, which is pretty spectacular. Actually, I'm wrong. It's not 4/10. It's a lot more. He's a second and 4/10.
Yeah.
Warboy's got a 131. Who are 132s?
So
But Brendan's the only one
Urquhart-
out of the 132s.
Just to update you, Urquhart's just come past pit lane. He has passed Jace Douglas now, who is in pit lane, just ahead of Trav Daly. There's still only 2 positions between them, and they both have clean cars. So now the question is for Urquhart is, A, can he keep it clean, keep running it forward, keep himself in the championship battle? And for Jace Douglas, he needs to try and stay within 10 positions of Urquhart and keep his car on the straight and narrow, and he will be the champion. So it's not over yet. There are 9 to 18 minutes left to go this season, and it's anyone's game at this point for the title.
Great little battle at the bottom going on with Crosby and Dooley. Very, very close. Crosby's looking at having a go at the moment. Taking the inside line. He's putting the foot down as he comes down to the back chicane. Nicely through and clean. He's done that with some incredible ease. Great brake control through there, Crosby.
He's done very well to get that move done. Mueller is still struggling with that blinking. So hopefully that doesn't...
To the boys at the front, because they've had no love tonight.
Oh.
Absolutely no love. There's Blake Warboys at the bottom screen at the moment. He is 6 seconds off the back of James Scott. These boys are doing 131.047, 131.118 for Blake. Blake is just going through the motions, mate. I think he's just
cruising.
Yeah,
he's cruising at this point. I mean, he's not under pressure for dropping out of the top 5. He's got plenty of time between him and Brandon Levin, and then even more time back to Green, Mueller as well. And then for Mueller, hopefully that internet can hold up for him and it doesn't drop him out of the race, because we wouldn't want him to obviously have to drop out because of that, because that then takes away from where he could possibly finish in the championship standings. It'd probably help. Oh, it would help his teammate, but it would also help Jace, because it'd give them both a free position. So we want to just see him continue to fight forward and continue this battle happening with Jaden Green at this stage.
Yeah, looking good, looking very good. Brandon Levin's just gone in the pits. Let's see where that brings him out amongst the boys that he was battling with. So he was around Jaden Green before.
This is going to be tight, but I reckon he might actually get them both. I think Brandon may actually exit ahead of both of them, as Lawford also comes in.
His lap times are solid.
Here
really
we go,
solid.
straight to the exit. They're going to jump him, and they've jumped him by a long way. So Levin has actually, I think, having to deal with the lap traffic has actually hurt Levin there. So he just missed the mark a little bit. And his pit stop was actually 2 seconds slower than Ryan Mueller's. So
yeah,
obviously needed to take a little bit more fuel.
Yep. 137.5 his last lap too, so that cost him a bit as well. But out the top end of the field, Mr. Blake Warboys is in cruise control, like we said. He is just got himself another 15 minutes before he claims the V8 Warren and Brown V8 Supercars Tuesday night Split 1 championship. The boy is doing extremely well with his collection of championships at the moment.
Yeah, he's going to have to get a separate trophy case with the title SRW on the case there.
He might just have to. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to get someone to do some historical stuff for our V8s and all our series as well. And see who has the most V8 titles. I know that Dikey would be up there, but I think Warboys in the last 12 months has put both hands on it. Johnny Gallen's in the pits.
Yep, so Gallen's in. He gets passed by both Green and Mueller. Will also be passed by Brandon Levin. What about Billy Mould? Does he get him too? As he runs up the main straight, he will. Gallen's just coming through pit exit now.
Out.
So he's going to exit ahead of Darren Crosby.
Look
It's
at the
only
pace.
just. It's only just.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he's got right of way there too. He's got right of way. So Crosby's got to be aware of him coming out, because the driver coming out of the just does not have that vision that the guy coming down the straight does. And done really well, really well. Still up 7 places. Crosby is 5/10. Crosby is slowly moving up that tower. His last lap was a 1:32.5 is his best lap, so he's doing really well. His last lap was a 1:32.6. His pace has gone up a few levels since that pit stop.
Urquhart as well has now got pressure from behind from Angus Lawford at this stage for P10 on the road. They've got 2 seconds up to Mitch Noble, and then Darren Crosby after them as well. Jace Douglas at this stage, he is. He's having a proper go at him at this stage.
Look at that.
Jace Douglas is P14 on the road and is the champion-elect at the moment. So Urquhart needs to get this car further up in the 10. But Lawford trying to go for a move into the old hairpin, the old Melbourne hairpin. May make a claim to that. Wants the switch back if he can. Can't quite get there for Urquhart. Position gained for Lawford. Position lost for Urquhart's furniture.
That was really smart. The natural line would have been to go out wide and hold the speed of the car, but what he's done is actually come through and he's tried to keep the car as central as possible, so that way Urquhart couldn't get in there and get under him. So that was a very good move coming through that hairpin.
They run down.
But it's not all over.
No, it's not all over.
Urquhart is still on the back of him.
Well, Urquhart's still on the back of him. James Scott's in pit lane. So Urquhart's still on the back of him, and if a mistake is made from Douglas or he drops out for whatever reason, Urquhart is still within the hunt at the moment. Might need to be some quick maths for us at the end.
All boys has followed James Scott in. Let's see who saved more fuel. See who needs to put more fuel into the car. James is on there, 15.17. Down. Blake is coming now.
Yeah, he's exiting now.
Blake's taking 2 seconds less.
Oh, hang on. Blake took a 7-second stop. Oh, no, sorry. Counted that way wrong. 13.43 seconds. For whatever reason, and there's nothing against James. I don't know why this has happened. My actual live timing on these SDK projects for the supercars of Tuesday, both split, the actual live timing is lagged. I don't know why. I'll click on a driver and it won't highlight them straight away, but it will show them on screen. It's very odd. I'm not sure why.
Okay. Yep. Could be a bit of internet lag. Who knows? But yeah, Warboy saved a heap of fuel there. He's nearly 2 seconds less on the sticks there. Ryan Miller's just about caught Jaden Green. He is 3/10 off the back of him at the moment, putting some immense pressure for a great way to finish the season off and get himself hopefully a podium. Billy Mole is 8 seconds off back of Levin, and Levin is 1.3 off Muller. Brendan, Mr. Levin is having the drive of the season that he's had so far.
Yeah, one of his best for sure from Brandon Levin. Is he right on board with Muller in towards the chicane and up towards the hairpin as well.
With 10 minutes to go, this is roughly where they sort of gap out, and then all of a sudden we see the last 5 minutes and there's battle packs everywhere. Oh, look at that, he's taking it wide. Oh man,
but he'll get the drive.
The momentum to go.
Yeah, he gets the drive out the corner.
He has. Oh.
Yeah.
Tighter
line, unfortunately, led to less drive off the corner there for Muller, where where Green managed to get the power down nice and early and powered it on through.
Yeah, and that gave Levin a bit of a chance to catch up to these boys. He's actually lapped faster than both of them on that lap by 3/10. So he is, he's got a little bit of clean air in front of him. What is it, 9/10 to a second, and it's helping him get a bit faster because these boys are cutting their apexes a little bit more acuter and trying to stay a bit more central to avoid the pass.
This battle continues on further down the field.
Dom Grundy and the boys.
Yeah, having a good old crack. Douglas is in this. Cowie's in it. Trainer's in it. Cowie's had a good run tonight, up 7 spots. He's managed to keep himself clean. Hopefully he can stay there.
Yeah, Crosby and Gallen are 7 as well.
Yeah.
Both doing cracking jobs.
I think the looming thing overhead here for Jace is he doesn't want this to end poorly amongst this 4-pack battle. If something happens amongst that those 4 cars, and he drops to the back of the field, that is going to give a hell of a lifeline to Blake Urquhart up in P11.
Yeah.
Jace needs to just keep it clean at the moment.
There's only 3 spots between them at the moment.
There is,
so
but if he's caught up in contact with these 4 cars, and he drops back to P18, it's still going to be 7 positions for Urquhart, but he's still, it's going to put the pressure back on him again. So he just needs to try and keep his head cool, keep himself calm and collected, and try and continue on amongst this
James
battle.
Scott has just ripped out a 130.412. Do you think these boys, Mr. Warboys and Scott, could crack the 130?
Or low fuel, maybe. Depends how well they've kept the tyres. At the 29, I don't know. They didn't get it in qualifying in the qualifying trim, so I don't know if they can do it in the race trim.
Yeah. It depends what the temperature's like, whether the track's benefiting the grips or not. But Warboys is just, is as fast as lap as the last one, 1:30.875. And actually both of them, Scott and him, did their fastest lap in the last lap. So they're both on fire. Let's see what happens there. Jaden Green, Romeo and Brandon Levin still following each other down there. I'll take it down to Mr. Cowan for a little bit to give the V8 Supercar admin a bit of love. He has got 4 of them now. 3 of them chasing him down. Trainer Douglas Cowan and Gundy. Not Gundy, Grundy.
Grundy.
Yeah.
So Mueller wants to try and get past Green as soon as possible here to try and get onto the podium, but Green has got every right to fight him, of course. They are classified in different classes, but they're scored on an overall level. So this is a genuine battle for P3 on the road at the moment. And Mueller's going to have to earn it if he hopes to get this job done. But with Levin right behind him as well, the pressure is on to get this this move made and this podium secured.
Again, out of those 3, Levin's the fastest at the moment. The battle between Green and Mueller is slowing them both down.
He's trying to just push on as Brandon Levin. Is it the Brandon Levin of old that has returned now? Has he finally found his place in the sort of pace he needs to try and push on with in this Gen 3 supercar? Maybe he's finally wrapped his head around the car as well, Sinker. Maybe that was one of the issues.
Possibly. I'll have a chat with him after the race and see how the boys are gone, because they're he's fished that around the corner. He's done well to control it.
Mr. Drifter. Of course, this is the final. Speaking of Team SRW Sinker, this is the final supercars race for Jacob Trainer as a part of that outfit.
We haven't spoken for it. We've been doing a little bits and pieces in there, and I've been giving the boys some food for thought on the stuff that I want to do for next season. Hopefully he changes his mind. I don't know. We'll see. But in there, I've got Brad, Brandon Levin, Jacob Trainer, and Mitch Noble in the SRW room. They're all racing together.
The battle for P3 continues on. 5.5 minutes left to run. Blake Warboys is 22.5 seconds ahead of this battle pack and is currently the pro and overall champion-elect for Split 1 this season. The current champion-elect for the Pro-Am class is Jace Douglas, a part of this battle pack further down the field as he gets his way past Dom Grundy and now looks to get past Andrew Cowan as soon as possible as well. There's not much more Blake Urquhart and Trav Daly can do in defending him at this point. They just have to hope that he makes a mistake or he has an issue.
No, he's got to play it smart now. Or Trav, he's having a bit of a look there. This little battle pack is driving some really nice driving. They've gapped it out. Looks like Trainer's trying to take the inside line there on Grundy from that cutaway. Yep.
He wasn't quite there.
Grundy's car. I don't mind that at all.
I like it. Of course, Nathan Cadman, his teammate, runs the Camaro variant in Split 2 we saw earlier tonight. I do think it's one of the more well put together liveries on the grid. It definitely it brings the ambience of actual supercar to it, doesn't it? You could picture that on a supercars grid. You know, that's one of the bigger factors that I love of designing a supercars. Everyone has their own design style and their own way of approaching it. I'm a big fan, though, of making the car look as realistic as possible, and that you could pick it up and put it on the supercars grid and you'd think no different of it. So that looks absolutely spectacular.
Tell you what a lonely night for James Scott.
I mean, 9.4 seconds. He should be used to that at this point.
Yeah. I'm going to have to get some more fasties out there on that track to keep him around, mate, because I can't imagine it'd be too much fun driving around on your own.
There's Warboys just entering the DRS zone.
Yep.
And there is Jaden Green just coming up to the top of the hill. That is 24.26 seconds between Blake Warboys and Jaden Green.
Yeah.
So if we compare again as they come up to the top, Jaden's about to go through the DRS zone, the start of it. That was where Blake was 24 seconds ago. Where's Blake now? Coming up towards the final corner. So he'll be able to wave at them as he goes through the final corner here. See, he just looks to his right there. They are there, coming through the chicane. So just give him a little wave. He's like, hello, boys.
Give him the bird.
Middle finger outside net. Oh.
Yeah. I'll take it down to, where are they? Where's Grundy down the bottom there? He is got on the back of that pack now as well, so he's having a bit of fun there. Stoney's on the back of that as well. So Stoney's had a bit of a rough night tonight. He's had his drive-through and incident, so he is... Oh, hang on. He had his drive-through, didn't he? Has he gone through twice?
If he had his drive-through, then he would have had his pit.
He said one pit entry.
Yeah, no, it doesn't count. It doesn't count pit entry as a drive-through. Like, they don't count it because he didn't stop. So,
all right, is there anyone out there? Do you want to see anyone in particular? Let us know, because we've got 2 minutes to go, less than 2 minutes to go. These legends up front, we're having a lot of fun. Absolutely going for it. I was just about to say, is James Scott going to do a drift expression on his last lap? Because I think the last lap would be coming up as he comes around.
Yeah, he's about to cop the white flag. So 1 lap to go for James Scott.
White flag.
White flag for James. Warboys will cop the white flag, and it'll be 1 lap to go before he is crowned the Tuesday Supercars champion for the 2nd season in a row. He's currently on a perfect run in 2025. He won the Season 4 title of the Sunday Series in 2024. On Sunday, he locked up the Season 1 championship of 2025 for the Sunday Series. He won in Season 1 of the Tuesday Series as well for Split 1. And now he is 1 lap away from making it 4 from 4 attempts as a champion here in SRW. Battle for P3 continues on towards the final lap as the race leaders make their way up towards the end of their final lap as well. We'll have to cut very shortly to James Scott as he looks across the line. As our race winner here this evening, 9.8 seconds ahead of P2. It's ridiculous, isn't it? Absolutely ridiculous.
Jesus Christ, Ray.
It's all right, Ray. Chase is still going to win the title. Don't worry about it.
Sometimes I wonder.
So do I.
These bloody Ballarat locals.
So James Scott runs around towards the final corner now. Blake Warboys will follow him through in a moment's time. And as he runs towards turn 12 for the final time this season with the fastest lap this race. It's 5 extra points, but it's not enough as James Scott takes the race win here at Donington Park in the final round. And for WKMP Sim Sports, for the 4th time in SRW, for the 2nd time on Tuesday nights, Blake Warboys is the Supercars Pro Champion here in SRW. The battle for P3 is continuing in towards turn 11. Green and Mueller going at it. Levin wants a piece of it too. Trying to get the power down off the exit. Almost impossible when you're pushing this hard as Green looks to survive into turn 12. 11 wants to get a run through, can't quite get there. Jaden Green in an all-out effort will win it for the Pro-Ams here this evening, and he'll get P3 overall on the road. Mueller and Levin the top 5. In behind him, Billy Mole will traverse the final corner. He'll take home P6 in a lonely but conservative effort here this evening. Then it'll be John Gallen up 7 positions ahead of Darren Crosby, up 7 positions for P7 and P8. Angus Lawford and Mitch Noble make up the top 10. Blake Urquhart did all he could to challenge Jace Douglas tonight for the Pro-Am title. And then Jace Douglas, in an all-out effort this season, he took his very first class win in a supercar. He then takes home his first class championship in a supercar too as the Pro-Am champion of Season 2 2025.
Finally got himself a title after a few attempts at it. It's a great job out there. You know what, everyone out there, thank you for supporting us and coming out on a Tuesday night and just tearing it up like that. Spectacular. Love it. Love it. Absolutely love it. Wow. Hamish.
Sinker.
That was our last race, officially our last race as part of a season structure.
It was.
It was been a pleasure, mate. It's been a spectacular night as usual, and it's been a lot of fun commentating with you, mate. And these boys out there and girls, but there's no girls out there tonight, are the reason we come out here every week and have a lot of fun together. And the drivers tonight have done nothing but put on a spectacular show, and the chat has been pretty awesome as well. Congrats to the series champions, P1 and Jado. Well done, Blake Jace. Well done, Blakey. Great effort, Irks. It's been spectacular all round, hasn't it?
It has been. It has been for sure. The Pelicans there trying to get themselves a nice photo coming up towards the line as they come into pit lane, and the championship celebrations begin for the WKMP Sim Sports 63 Mustang of Blake Warboys on the start-finish line here this evening. Your provisional race results as follows as he gets those done for us. James Scott takes the race win. Blake Warboys P2 on the road, good enough for the title in the end. Jaden Green P3 wins it for the Pro-Ams this evening. Ryan Mueller, Brandon Levin, Billy Mole, John Gallen, Darren Crosby, Angus Lawford and Mitch Noble make up the top 10. It was a great battle towards the end of the race there between Green, Mueller and Levin. All drove incredibly well. It's fantastic to see those guys going tooth and nail towards the end of this race. Urquhart just misses out on the top 10 and misses out on the championship too as Jace Douglas finishes P12. That's all he needed to win the title here tonight. Jacob Traynor, Andrew Cowan, Troy Stonestreet, Dom Grundy, Trav Daly, Troy Dooley and Peter Pavlovic made up our grid in the end. A big thank you once again for being with us all season to our race controllers, Greg Barber, Sam Katakazinis, Matt Keane, as well as Steph Piccoli and Mr. Tyson McAvoy as well. That was fantastic. Ryan, we had that battle majority of the way through. Incredibly driven, mate. Well done.
You
well
guys
done.
You guys were the shining light tonight.
Yeah. That was
up front. There wasn't that much to show apart from the boys doing some consecutively fast laps.
But no,
you'll
really
be happy with P14 in the field on. Come on. On a setup, Cowie, you need to lift your game, mate. Simple as that.
But no,
mate, let's get these peeps on the run, mate. Let's have a bit of a chinwag. Who are we going with first?
Well, I'm clicking on Jace to get us to some B-roll, but we won't start with Jace. We'll make our champions wait it out a little bit. We'll start with our Pro-Am race winner here this evening in Jaden Green of Project 36. Jaden, congratulations. P3 on the road tonight, an overall podium for you, but a Pro-Am victory for yourself as well. Mate, that last sort of 10 minutes in your battle with Ryan and with Brandon was incredible. You guys were going at it tooth and nail. What was the pressure like in the cockpit of the Project 36 Mustang?
I had more pressure against the car than the drivers behind me, to be honest, because I was trying not to spin. I had no rear tyres left in that one, so I was battling myself and battling the cars behind. But all fun and games.
Well, you got a lot of support in the chat, mate, so you're doing extremely well. I heard rumours that the rest of the Project
36 team are going to try to get you sacked so that you can race more.
Yeah, they wish. They couldn't pay me enough to do that.
Well, mate, you know what? Your FIFO efforts have been spectacular. You come in and you put some great pace on. And to get a third against boys like that are out there tonight that are racing a lot more frequent than you are, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I just try rock up when I can and when I ever get the chance. So try put in a little bit of effort at least. And I think I rocked up about an hour before practice ended, and I'd raced here before. Luckily, so we had a set up to run. So it was somewhat.
The rest of the boys aren't sharing setups with you. They're like, work it out yourself, mate.
This is from a different league, so
okay.
I raced in a separate league a couple months back and got the set. So I already had a nice base to go off.
Yep. Something you were happy with and handled nicely to your style.
No, it wasn't very nice. I was just able to hold on to it.
Well, you did well, mate, and it looked great on camera. When you watch it back, I think you'll enjoy it. I'm not sure when you're flying out for the next shift, but when you get some time, mate, watch it back. It was a pretty good effort.
Yeah, we'll do. Cheers, boys.
Who gets you on track, mate, and supports Project 36?
That would be Project 36 themselves, Simrigs, CC Forged, Cataclysm Computers, and Shockworks Suspension.
Excellent, mate. Well, congratulations. Love having you on board. Epic drive tonight, buddy. Hopefully we'll see you back next season for some more fun. And I know the Project boys are growing as we speak, mate. They're every week there's someone new driving down there, so it's good to see.
Yeah, stay tuned, see what happens.
Oh, that could be a hit. Is that a hit?
Maybe. We'll see what happens.
All right, Hamish, we have to keep our ears peeled for Project 36. Are you stealing another one of my drivers?
Nah, I couldn't tell you. There's an NDA in place.
It's all been signed. Well, take care, mate. And well done, and congratulations on an epic night tonight.
No worries. Cheers, boys.
Cheers, mate.
Next up, we're going to have a chat to our race winner here this evening, James Scott, P1 on the road. James, fantastic effort from you tonight. Another race win. You got an extra 5 points for the fastest lap in the end as well, but it wasn't enough to win the title over Blake. A solid season, though, nonetheless. Unfortunately, obviously, held up a little bit by an injury that you were carrying. But talk us through that race tonight, how the setup was on the car, and how it was just getting used to this car track combination in a race setting as well.
Yeah, it was alright. No laps beforehand, just jumped straight in practice. Made a few tweaks. But yeah, no, it was, wasn't too bad, didn't mind it.
You were just doing training laps, weren't you, mate? You and Blake are in a world of your own out there, dropping 130.412. Have you dropped less than the 30 on here?
Nah, never driven this track before tonight. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, no, it was just learning practice and see what happens. But yeah, no, that was never driven this track. I haven't the old carbon on this one.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Has the new patch? Have you had to play off the new setup options?
No, I haven't. I think it only came out last night. Was that right?
Oh, last night before, yeah, whatever it was. Yeah.
Didn't have a play with any of that. So just I don't know, put the baseline setup in and just changed the ratio and away we went.
Love your work, mate. Hamish, I wish I could do that. I seriously do. I'd love to be able to drive as fast as you boys do. It's just a natural thing about it. I guess once you click with the car and the whole way you feel it all, it's just a matter of getting used to tracks and braking points. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was pretty good. That's pretty much it. Just this car. I don't know. It's a bit funny. It's the way you got to drive it. Sort of getting my head around that, but
is it changing your style much?
Yeah, a little bit from the old Gen 2. With had a lot of downforce in the Gen 2, so this one's quite a lot different to drive. But no, it's all right. Just
do you reckon for the novice, this car's going to be harder to drive than the Gen 2?
I think so.
Yeah.
This car, it seems like it's, I don't know. Yeah, if it's out of the window, it's really out of the window. If it's on the edge of the window, it's all right.
Yep.
But
it's harder to get it in the pocket, yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. I think there's very minimal between out of the window and in the window. There's like
Yep.
there's obviously there's not much setup options compared to the old Gen 2 car. They've
Yep.
definitely decreased quite a lot. And yeah, I think that's made the racing a little bit closer for the whole field. So it's definitely hard to be competitive each and every week.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's all right.
Excellent, mate. Well, we're working on getting some more fast boys out there to compete with you guys and shake it up a little bit, because Warren and Brown are going to drop some more prizes for the splits on Tuesday night and increase them for Sunday nights. So hopefully it'll attract a few more pacey boys and give you some competition, so you don't have it as easy. But mate, again, Stellar Drive, who gets Mr. James Scott out on track and supports you?
Yeah, just a shout out to Aussie Broadband, Westfield, Logitech G, all those guys, the guys at the Chiefs. Yeah, awesome season. And yeah, you guys for the broadcast each and every week, and admin and all that sort of stuff. And it takes a lot to put on something like this outside of working commitments or whatever else. So yeah, just all those boys, good fun.
Thanks, buddy. We appreciate your love, and well done. I hope to see you back next season, mate, for another crack at this title and take the goodies home. I think Blake's has been well, mate. One thing you have learnt this season is you're not playing squash again, are you?
Yeah, funny that I actually played today.
So the ankle's back. It's all right.
No, he didn't have a chance. Well, he had a chance at a championship to lose, but it wasn't. There wasn't as much on the line as a couple of weeks ago. That's what it was. He wasn't feeling the pressure tonight. So,
Yeah.
Love it. Oh, mate.
Probably wasn't a good idea, but hurting a bit now. But anyway, it was.
Yeah, you'll be right. You'll be right. Your young whippersnappers will be all right.
Yeah, that's
Take care, buddy. Good luck,
Yeah.
and I'll see you next season.
Yeah, mate.
Cheers.
next up on the call, we have our Pro-Am champion of Season 2 of 2025. Took his first win this season for his class out at Mosport, Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, earlier in the season. Wins his first class championship as well. It is young Jace Douglas. Jace, congratulations on your championship victory tonight. It got a bit hairy towards the start of the race where you were spun round and then just a sitting duck in the middle of the road, and then it was pretty much just try and cut down the amount of positions that there were between you and Blake Urquhart. I think you were not lucky for the fact, but I suppose the bright side to getting hit and spun round was it was your actual championship competitor of Trav Daly that did that, and with him getting a drive through, that took him out of the chance. But no, a solid performance all season. A race to maybe forget for you, but definitely a season to remember for you as well.
Yeah, thanks, Hamish. Yeah, it was very, very complicated because I was just thinking to myself, what just happened? Because I wasn't expecting to get turned. And then out of nowhere, they said, oh, it's this person, this person, this person over the radio to me. I had Jacob Lucas as my spotter, and I can't thank him enough to helping me to get to this point, as well as Jet Murray and all the boys at NPR. They've settled me down, told me keep calm, because I can tell you I was furious.
We can imagine, mate. You watch the show back, and I think we dissected your driving style and where you've come from and where you are now. I think the Douglas of old would have taken a few shortcuts to catch up. But you've done well, mate. You've won your first SRW title. I know it's been a long time coming. You're on a bit of a trajectory at the moment. Your driving is still aggressive, but it's a lot more measured. You're a bit more better control this time. So when you're driving hard, you're not losing that control like you have in the past and cause incidents. Now when you're driving hard, you're maintaining the pressure and you're not losing the control. So that's really good to see. You haven't had to change your style much, but you're just a little bit more measured, and I guess the boys are keeping you calm. But what was adrenaline like, mate, after when you realised, shit, I've done this, I finally got it?
I didn't get told until I almost crossed the line, and I can tell you there was fist pumping and and then I had Ray running into me, and then,
I was gonna,
yeah,
I was gonna say, did the old man give you any pineapples? Because he
No.
wanted to give Stoney some pineapples.
yeah, I could understand. He's a bit like me. He's
Oh, no
competitive
doubt,
at
mate.
whatever
No
he
doubt.
does.
No shadow of a doubt in my mind at all, mate. Very, very passionate bunch. Jacob Trainer saying that he had a lot of fun racing you in the end, mate, as well on the chat. Dude, what's the plan? More practice, buckle down. You'll obviously get promoted to the pros now. So you're doing it on the Sunday night. You're doing it on Tuesday nights, and you're getting better competing with I think the competition on Sundays has improved you a little bit more as well because you're driving with these guys that you can drive close around, and I think your awareness is getting a bit better. So what's the plan? More practice. The team's obviously growing and going in certain directions as well.
Yeah, so I'll be doing at this stage Tuesday, Sunday, and Thursday, and there's 4 other boys coming across to do. I think one's doing Tuesdays with me, one's doing Wednesday, one's doing Thursday.
Yep. It's gonna be a full on a bit of racing next season. Well, it's good to see, mate. Have you got your sponsorship list in front of you? As he looks up.
I got nothing, but all I can say is I wish Jet was here with me to celebrate it. It's a dream come true for me. I've never won a championship in anything, not even go-karts. And yeah, to get me to where I am, I can't thank Jet and his family and my family, of course, Ray and Mum, and the people in Discord. They just, can't stop helping me and egging me on to just do something like that.
Well, we can see it means a lot to you, mate. Congratulations. It's been a while coming, and it's great to see you achieving some goals that you set out for yourself, mate. Keep it going. Keep the practice going. You're getting better and faster. Hopefully, sometime soon you'll be up there competing with the Scots and War Boys. But congratulations, dude. Get out there. I don't know. Go for a nudie run through Ballarat. It's going to be pretty cold over there, mate. It's going to be probably about 5 degrees compared to less than what it is here. I think we're about 12 degrees here in Melbourne. But congratulations, and tell your old man thanks for entertaining us in the chat as well.
Yeah, no, all good. He's probably listening, and I wish I could have done a burnout, but I ran out of fuel coming in the second last corner.
That's all good, mate. You'll say that for another night.
Don't get me wrong, I'll be doing it straight after this.
Well done, buddy. Congratulations, dude.
Yeah, thanks, Hamish, and thanks, Steve, and wish you all the best, Hamish, on what you do after this.
No worries, Jace. Thanks, mate. Really appreciate it. Great job, and best of luck next season in the pro class.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Appreciate it. Well, next up, we have our Season 4 2024 Sunday Champion, Season 1 2025 Tuesday Champion, Season 1 2025 Sunday Champion, and now Season 2 2025 Tuesday Champion as well, Blake Warboys. Blake, congratulations. 4th SRW title locked in the chamber for yourself now. 3 of them which have come ever since the birth of your daughter Ava. One of them that came just beforehand, but mate, you've been on an absolute roll of consistency and fantastic pace as well. It's another title to boot. I jokingly said to Sinker on the broadcast, you're gonna have to get another trophy cabinet with just SRW on it, because you're starting to build up a trophy case's worth.
Mate, I was just thinking about it. I've got all these trophies to complete the next week or so, but he's also won a heap of Warren and Brown stuff as well. So it's Blake, you're gonna get a whole box. It's gonna be a decent sized box, mate. I hope you got good good postal service up there, and a good spot to put it all, so they don't nick it from your front doorstep. Because it's going to be a heavy box too, mate. Let me tell you.
Yeah, no, I think the postal service. Oh, it's hit and miss here, but at least with Gemma being on parental leave, she'll be home.
Yep.
So
You'll
that'll be
get
good.
home. It'll be
But
all unpacked on the kitchen table for you.
yeah, probably.
I love it, mate. How was tonight? It was a bit of a test track run at the end.
Yeah, not really any practice. So just jumped in, tried a couple of different setups, found one that sort of felt okay.
Yep.
Yeah, sort of ran with it. Probably chewed the rear tires a bit too much. So yeah, I wasn't really able to keep up with James. But yeah, not too bad all in all. Yeah,
Not too bad.
not too bad.
You're not too far off the pace there, mate. I mean, you two boys are just next level. I've just, hopefully the prizing and the prizes we get out and all that sort of stuff will bring some more fast boys in as well to compete with you boys, because you've had it your way. Like between the two of you, Rayan's been busy, so he's been doing a lot of real world racing as well, which was a shame. But some of these boys are increasing in pace. You got Mueller. Mueller has been pretty hot on the money, and your boys as well. Billy, and if Stoney can get a bit of good luck, he'd be right. And then you've got poor fellas like Angus Lawford, who's had nothing but bad luck for the last season.
Yeah, no, the field's getting closer and closer, which is good. Like, you want to see that close racing. Like I said on Sunday, not sure how much I'll be doing. Go-karting's picking up a little bit and wanting to do a bit more of that. Work, it's hit and miss. So, yeah, it's just one of those things. Try and do as much as I can. Wanting to try some other stuff as well. Then we got the Enduro season for the Pro Series will be starting. I don't even know. I should probably look at that. So yeah,
That's
jumping
all right,
in
mate.
with the
You're there when you're
SSR
there.
guys.
There's no pressure from us.
Yeah, so we'll just see what happens. See if we can get maybe some more boys in. Yeah, don't know. Just have a break for a bit. I think I'm a bit supercard out.
Yeah, I can imagine so. Yep.
Yeah, and we got a few big weeks of go-karting coming up, so it might be a sim miss for a few weeks.
Yeah. Well, looking forward to watching your Facebook results and your go-karting. Always check that out, mate. So good luck with that. The team has been growing and getting faster as well. So congratulations to the team out there, mate, and to Bub and Mum for supporting you. But who gets the Daddy War boys on track and supports you, mate?
Yeah, well, always to Jem, Ava, and the family for supporting and everything. Let me race as much as I do. All the team for jumping in. We had quite a few more for Tuesday nights this season, which was really good. Johnny for always jumping in, spotting when he can. Literally comes straight from work and jumps in and qualifies. So bloody committed. Wodonga Carts and Parts, Croc Promotion Carts Australia, Stone Street Plumbing, Superchip Auto, and the Superchip Group of companies. Poor Guys Adelaide, LGC Images, Dave 37 Racing, All Boys Motorsport, Send It Don't Bend It, Amp Air, M1 Cars, and Peggy's Performance and Dino Tune. And thanks to all the admin, broadcast team, Hamish, you, Sinko, and it's been another good season.
Excellent work, mate. Excellent work. You've done a cracking season, mate. You've been at the pointy end all the way through and done a cracking job. Congratulations, dude. Hopefully we'll see you out on track again soon. But that makes you I think, is that a 4-time champion, Hamish?
Yeah, 4-time champion, 4 seasons or 4 series in a row, technically. 2 in a row for both days.
I don't think that's been done before. Dikey's won a few consecutives, but I don't think it's been 4 in a row like that. I'm going to have to get someone to help me and get the history books all sorted out for us, mate, because that's an accomplishment that's on its own, mate. Congratulations, dude. Thank you and your family for supporting us as well through the season, and cracking job for you and the team, mate.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's been awesome.
Congrats, Blake. Best of luck in your other racing endeavours, and look forward to seeing where you end up wherever you're racing.
Yeah, Thanks, guys.
Thank
yeah,
you.
Appreciate it, Hamish.
Cheers, buddy.
Well, Sinker, that's it.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's it.
Never say that's it. Mate.
Well,
Never- never-
that's it on a season of Supercars here for
Yes.
Tuesday nights.
Yeah.
2 more races to go, 2 more rounds, or 1 more round left of, obviously tomorrow for the SFLs and then for the GR86s. 1 more event after that of the Australian Open Wheel Nationals next week. And then season 2 of SRW for 2025 will be wrapped up. Obviously, that's it in terms of myself and Sinker as permanent broadcast colleagues, at least for now, as I step away from SRW. And, it's been a long journey, 2 years and a couple of months. I think it's 2 years and about 3 months that I've been here, and I've been doing the Supercars ever since season 1 of 2024. So, about a year and 6 months I've been in the Supercar seat after I took over from Peter Gretton. So, yeah, it's been an incredible journey. It's been a great time through the highs and lows, through the criticisms from myself or yourself or from other people on us. It's been a long but fun journey through.
It's been a
through
long,
everything.
fun journey, mate. I reckon your voice has got deeper through the process. As
Probably
well. That's how long
has.
we've been doing it.
It probably has. To be honest with you, the closer I've gotten to 30, the deeper it's gotten. But
you've been doing some growing as well, mate,
Yeah.
which is good to see.
Yeah, for sure.
I got a social media alert, a notification, I think yesterday or the day before, that we've had SRW for 5 years now on social media. So that means we've been doing it for about seven years now with FRL. And you're a little fella that reached out to me from an ad that we had on social media. And we sort of looked to see what you'd done before and where you were at, and experience was still a little bit green. You'd done a fair bit of work with the vets and the second thing, and we just finished up with Mr. Gretton. And you've done nothing but grow as a man, as well as a broadcaster, mate. And it's been a pleasure watching you grow. And the door is always open, and always will be open. I'm sure the viewers out there have learned to love your dulcet tones and the camaraderie that you've had with myself and everyone else that you've worked with. So thank you very much for being part of the SRW journey. The door's not closed. You'll still continue the journey at some point. But thank you for everything you've done so far for us.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate that. And, for the viewers out there, you'll never know when I might pop up again. I might just surprise you one day and I'm just here covering for somebody or doing an event or whatever it may be. Schedule dependent, of course. But, it's been an incredible journey. It's tomorrow will be my last SRW broadcast. And it'll be a somber one. It's a way that the only better way I could have ended it was if it was not only all the things that it's going to be, the first series that I broadcast for SRW with the first commentator I did it with. If it was also the first track that series raced at, that would have been the complete full circle moment. But obviously we can't pick that all the way. So it's pretty hard to do that. But no, I mean it's at a track that I have a very, very big affinity with for Phillip Island. So I'll be excited for that. Of course, it was the last track I commentated with for those cars back at the AWM was Zach Caban last season too. So there is a little bit full circle for it. So if you want to, for whatever reason, if you're not racing tomorrow, if you want to come and watch along for my final broadcast with SRW as a full-time broadcaster, then yeah, I'd really appreciate it. Myself and Cowie. I carry the badge of pride that I was the only person that got given Cowie as a co-commentator, and I didn't complain once about having him. So that was it's a pretty good badge to have. I really loved my time that I got to commentate with Cowie when I started, and it'll be good to commentate with him again. I'll reiterate this tomorrow as well. But not everyone may watch tomorrow, but. Just a massive thank you to everyone in the league for not only giving me the opportunity 2 years ago as a young and aspiring commentator who had 2 series under his belt at that point, pretty much, and was very, very early on in his commentary and broadcast production career. I had a reflection the other day watching back some of my old ones compared to the new ones, and it's night and day. It is night and day. The not only from commentary, but actually just the way that I try and present things now. It is completely different. So it's you know, I appreciate the opportunities I've been given. Not only here, I mean, if not for the opportunity to work here at SRW, I very likely never would have met James, which then meant I never would have had the opportunity last year to commentate on the 23-hour race for mental health for Jimmy Broadbent, which is a massive part of my broadcasting career. So it's, you know, it's a bit of a 6 degrees of separation thing, but it's, you know, it's obviously it's a domino effect of what things can lead to. This is a process now for me to go on and find something new for myself, focus on some other things as well, and just try and change it up for me, because sometimes, you know, you can sit and do the same thing for so long, but sometimes being comfortable can be detrimental. Sometimes in good ways, sometimes in bad too. But you know, I want to try and find other opportunities for myself, push on, and see what else I can find out there. And again, you know, have it to have it end amicably is absolutely massive. Before I sign off, I just want to give a big thank you to everyone who has watched me over the years here in SRW and supported me as well. You know, if you were here just to support me, for whatever reason, I don't know why you would, but if you were here just to support me, I encourage you to stay and watch SRW and support SRW going forward as well, because, you know, there are some fantastic drivers out there who have the absolute privilege of being broadcasted every single week, and watching the broadcast helps you support them. So that's a massive thing too as well. To everyone who I had the opportunity to commentate with in SRW, and I am going to name them because it's only fair, as co-commentators to Andrew Cowan, Brad Hudson, Steph Piccoli, Peter Gretton, Nathan Shibby Howard, Tyler Sheaf, Ryan Price, yourself, Sinker, James, and if I've forgotten anyone off that list, I do apologise, but it's been an absolute pleasure and absolutely amazing. And if you want to continue supporting me in some way, I would so appreciate it. You can find me at my broadcasting service, Infinity Broadcasting. As I said, I will be back at some point with SRW, whether it's the Sandown 500 or something else. I will be here again. But yeah, massive thank you to you, Steve, and to Dean, and to the league. And yeah, appreciate not only allowing me the time to say this, but also allowing me the time to broadcast with the league as well. It's been absolutely spectacular. But it's all come ahead, all come to a head, all come to an end, and it's been an amazing journey. But big thank you to everyone who's watched this evening, who's watched this season as well. We appreciate your time and effort being here with us. Massive thank you to all the series sponsors as well, the title sponsors, Warren & Brown Tools, who've supported the Tuesday V8 Supercars series and the Sunday V8 Supercars Championship as well. We so appreciate the support. They've been a long-time supporter of the series, and it has been absolutely spectacular. To Moser Racing for coming on board in 2025 to support not only the Wednesday night Super Formula Lights Championship, but also the Australian Open Wheel Nationals during 2025 as well. It's a massive support to not only SRW, but to GSRC too. To Shunt Scenery, Groom Industries, home of the V8 Coffee Table, which can be found on Prime Video's Top Gear Australia during the news, interviews and other studio segments. And to Phoenix Driver Development. You can message PDD on Facebook or Laz and Rehan Leonage on Discord. Get you guys set up with some supercars setups or supercars training sessions. They specialise in the supercars and do everything from the 2009 Ford Falcon all the way up to the Gen 3 supercar as well. It's been an incredible journey. You guys can find direct links to all our series sponsors in the description of all of our streams here on SRW, so be sure to support them because they have given us so much support here in SRW. But until next time, thank you so much for watching us here in SRW. Tomorrow night it'll be myself and Cowie for the SFLs out at Phillip Island. And Thursday night for the GR86s it'll be James and Steve out at Circuit Zolder. But until then, we appreciate your time, appreciate your effort being here with us once again. Be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe, the bell icon as well, so you're notified whenever we go racing here on SRW TV. But until then, stay safe, drive hard. And for the final time from me in Supercars, see you next time.
This is amazing. It was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostyn and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to snip on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because tell you what, Reece Tanak and Jamie Dyson just absolutely drove away from us.